Hey, what's up, guys? I'm live a little early because we're doing the big announcement, so I want you guys to be able to get settled in and be ready for it. At 3 o'clock, we're going to make that announcement, and we're excited about it. You excited about it, Erica?
Yes!
Yeah, it's exciting. So we'll see you guys at 3 o'clock. Oh yeah, and go sign the petition that I started for the release of the firefighter porn. I understand that the porn's out there somewhere. That's not the point. The point is that it's funny to sign to start a petition to have that released. Yeah, Erica's retweeting it right now. It's on my Twitter. It's on Facebook. It's on the link to the video. It's all over the place. Roy Wood Jr. tweeted it out. Like it was, it's we need to get it out there. We need to see that video.
Audio for it this morning, but I don't know why anybody would do this, but okay. Jimmy Kimmel and Ted Cruz did something called the Blobfish Classic. You know, Jimmy Kimmel likes to hammer these guys on TV. And one of them said, hey, we should do a charity one-on-one basketball event against each other. The Blobfish Classic. And, of course, they were trash-talking each other. Jimmy Kimmel lost this, by the way.
I am shocked.
Well, I don't know how good either of them are
Right.
at basketball. I have no idea. I didn't even know this was going on.
Well, you think a guy that is known for playing Karl Malone in blackface would have some basketball skills.
Ted Cruz dribbles, I'm looking at a photo here, the Blobfish Basketball Classic. This was at Texas Southern University. So Ted Cruz is going to be eating lunch on this at GOP restaurants and events for the rest of his life. They said both of them were guilty of footwork that would make a sloth look like Usain Bolt.
Well, I mean, neither of them strike me as athletic.
Yeah, but Kimmel lost all that weight. He
True.
was
Doesn't make him athletic,
No,
though.
but he's a sports guy. I mean, I think he would know. Like I said, I don't know anything about either
the
of these
reason
guys.
you do
but
talk sports is because you can't play
Yeah.
sports.
Those who can't do
Like,
teach.
if you're not like a former athlete, you got into sports talk because you're not very good at it, but you love it.
no one's
yeah.
less athletic than I am, and I can't imagine a worse fate than doing sports talk radio. So I can't imagine the daily hell that must be.
So where do you think LeBron's gonna go? What's the rumor today?
No,
Yeah.
but that is
That's
at
all
least
it is
something
right
that
now.
people care about.
And something you can chew on, yeah.
I'm talking about in July when you got to talk about the Browns. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
God. Murder me already.
December's, I would say December, January would be real tough to talk because Browns' season's over. It's the middle of basketball season. Nobody cares yet. And there's no baseball things going on. So
Yeah, that's true.
Locally, that is not an easy time. So that's why people got to go on and on about the parade for weeks on end because they go, this is disrespectful to the players,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Because
Or
they
what
got nothing else to
athlete-
talk about. Yeah.
Or what athlete got a DUI that week? Retired athlete got a DUI, you know?
Well, that's always good fodder.
Yeah.
That is always good. Ted Cruz was the one who suggested the B-ball challenge, and Kimmel took him up on it, and the two agreed the proceeds from their $5,000 wager would be donated to two local charities in Houston. The venue was 8,100 capacity, and it wasn't that full. But again, whether you're a liberal or whether you're a right-winger, this is just one of these things where when they get on the microphone and start trash-talking each other, it's just so cringeworthy. It's like, some people came out to see Ted Cruz own a lib, and everybody else just came out because they hate Ted Cruz. But the trash-talking is when you're like, just get out there and play, please.
But also, I wouldn't want to watch these guys play basketball.
Oh, I wouldn't
Me
have
either.
minded that. I think
No.
that would have been mildly entertaining.
I think that's like if they were going
Two
by
middle-aged,
ones, yeah, that's not
unathletically
super exciting.
inclined.
You know the SpongeBob meme where he's like leaning up against like the rock? That's what I imagine Ted Cruz playing basketball. He's like,
I don't know that meme, but I'll take
Like
your
all
word
out
for
of
it.
breath,
That is
yeah.
appropriate. Here's Jimmy Kimmel talking trash.
Did you spend more time this week practicing basketball than trying to get those kids out of that detention center?
Except
See, it's like,
that's
okay,
like
I get
not
it,
even things
but
you should be razzing each other over. That should just be something that you just fix.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
No,
yeah,
that's
those kids
not-
at a detention center are like, yeah, take it to them.
yeah,
Get those
detention
kids
center.
out of here.
like I don't
Kids.
even think that should be fodder for this whole thing.
Well,
everything's
I'm
politicized.
just saying. I get that everything's politicized, but everybody's already made up their minds on things too. It's not like a Ted Cruz fan is going to go watch Kimmel and go, you know what? He's got a point. This
He made
guy.
a really good point about those kids.
They shouldn't be in cages.
I do think, however, I think there are probably some people that felt very strongly about immigration reform, but they don't want to see kids going through this.
That was, of course, you heard Jimmy Kimmel got a nice round of applause.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz, not so lucky, but he had to do some trash talking too. This is in his home state, by the way, too.
Hollywood would do better if they actually listened to the millions of Americans who were unhappy with the direction this country was going under Obama.
Oh, under Obama. I like how he throws that in there. The direction it was going under Obama. Oh, man.
Jeez.
That went well.
Just so you know, they're not booing. They're saying, oh no, they're booing. Actually, they're booing.
Well, listen, you got to do something, right?
awkward.
I give Ted Cruz credit for doing something like that.
I give him nothing.
Well,
Hey, you
money
got the
went to-
W. He
money
got
went
the
to-
W.
He won, and money went
Yeah.
to charity.
Are you saying boo or boo earns?
They're saying cruise. The blobfish class. They had a blobfish mascot and the whole thing.
What's a blobfish?
Oh, it's real ugly. If you,
Oh.
yeah, it's it looks pretty much what it sounds like. I'll tell you what. I've got. I'm going to throw a theory at you here. The more I read about this, I think that my theory might have. There might be something to it.
Legs?
Legs. So ABC has said that they are moving ahead with a Roseanne spinoff. Okay? She's waiving her rights to the intellectual property or whatever. And so they've got all these people who were signed for a second season. This isn't some big nod to the families over at ABC. They got money tied up in this, and they're like, how the hell do we salvage this? We've got crew members, we have people signed that we would have to pay if we don't play them. So Roseanne Barr obviously not going to come back to ABC anytime soon, but they're going to move ahead with this Roseanne spinoff, which they're confirming the rumors that it's going to be a Darlene-centric spinoff,
okay.
all right?
Now, is it still Darlene, her character from Roseanne?
That's my
Probably,
understanding.
yes.
Yeah, if it's a yeah. She's,
So then
they're all
Which
the
is
she's
why
still going to make
Roseanne-
money off of it.
No.
Oh.
She waived her rights to it.
Oh,
So
okay.
she won't be making money, even if they use the same characters.
Interesting.
I don't believe it though. I want to see it in writing. I wanna
But
see
here's
it.
what I'm saying. This whole thing came together because of Sarah Gilbert.
Right.
Sarah Gilbert was, I think, when John Goodman was doing a cameo on Saturday Night Live. You know, she's on that show, the chewing
View,
or
the Talk or
one of
whatever.
these shows.
The Talk.
So she's on this show. So I think she went to see John Goodman, and she goes, God, it's so fun hanging out with you, blah, blah, blah. And they call Roseanne, and wouldn't it be great to get the band back together? Sarah Gilbert got the ball rolling on this thing. This was her baby. And now it's all going to be her show.
Yeah.
I think Sarah Gilbert orchestrated this whole thing.
Oh, I think you
Fight me.
might be onto something.
I dare not, but that seems
No, you
reasonable.
fight right now. You two.
Yes, you will go down like Jimmy Kimmel in board shorts.
I'm already down.
I think.
She stands.
I think Sarah Gilbert put some ideas in Roseanne's head. She knew who she was talking to. She knew that she got a brain like silly putty. She knows she's easily malleable.
But she maybe didn't know that Roseanne would be willing to waive her rights so they could do a spinoff. That she had to trust.
Oh, I'm sure ABC had to threaten some kind of lawsuit against Roseanne that got her to do that. I don't think
Okay.
she's doing that out of the kindness of her heart. I mean, macadamia nuts don't make that much money. I think Sarah Gilbert's behind this whole thing. What do you think about that?
She supplied the Ambien.
Something. Something.
So do you think it's gonna have the same effect? Like the show will be as big a hit as Roseanne was?
No. But they have to, I mean, John Goodman's still going to be, everybody
Yeah.
else still going to be in it.
I think it's
don't-
gonna be-
I think it'll still be good.
I think it's still
No.
going to be good, and I think it's going to get a good audience because if you watch this season, you realize Roseanne wasn't a big part of the
She's
show.
not the linchpin to this whole thing. I
Not
don't
anymore,
think.
no. And even in older seasons, she was always the one that was like making quips, but it wasn't as much about her as it was about the entire
Everybody
family.
else,
So
yeah.
you got to love and know all those characters, and Darlene was probably the most compelling story in this season.
Mm-hmm.
It has a stank on it though. Like everyone's gonna know that this
Stank.
Everyone's
Yeah, but
gonna know
still,
the reason why
it's
the
just-
show exists is because of the racist
But people love the other characters. I think they'll still watch the show.
You might be right. I think this is the theme song they're going to use for that. I think, listen,
Yeah, I was singing this to myself the other day when I was walking into Target.
you're
But
like,
for
"Why
whatever
am I
reason, I
singing?"
was thinking of it as Michael Sarah.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's like really creepy in my head.
Are you ready for showtime?
Break down, baby.
Who the hell is this?
Alan, you have been described by your enemies as evil, insane, manipulative. Who are you?
To examine it would be to like demystify it.
Yo, kick it with a tasty groove, okay?
Wow.
Definitely makes me cringe.
Very, very, very painful.
1, 2, 3, kick it. Kick it. Come on. God damn it. Could you one time kick it? What the
You're disgusting.
It's showtime! It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7
You ignorant prick bastard.
WMMS. Cleveland.
What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Greetings. Hello there. High fives and salutations all the way around. My name is Alan Cox. Thank you for showing up. Hi there. Say hi to Bill Squire.
Hey, what's up? Creepy hugs, everybody. Good afternoon for now.
Good afternoon for now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, you know, we have a big announcement.
Later on,
Yeah.
we might not want you to have such a good afternoon. Erica Lauren's here, too.
Hey, Patch and Wave, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
What is a Tuesday?
Yeah, it's not Monday.
Is it a Taco Tuesday?
It probably will be for
Yeah, I
me because I eat Chipotle like every day.
Every day.
I mean, probably 5 out of 7 days a week. At least one meal
Don't
from
you
Chipotle.
get tired of Chipotle?
No.
What do you get, the bowl?
I get the brown rice bowl, half chicken, half steak.
Wow, that's a lot of Chipotle.
Yeah, it's
Aren't
real
you
good.
the one that says you're tired of food and you eat the same thing every day?
Yes, but I wouldn't choose that every single. Erica has never said that. I could eat what when they were trying to get Soylent going. I
Yeah.
was really excited about that. Just a gray goop that you squeeze into your mouth, and then they got salmonella and like the company shut down or whatever. I was really excited about that.
Well, sorry, I prefer Chipotle over Soylent.
Sorry, she parties. Other than beige goop into your mouth. Yeah.
And it's salty, and I need salty. So.
I understand. Pound Cake's back behind the glass there.
Afternoon, white people.
Say hello to him. We did announce, or I did say we were going to have a major show announcement today, and we will. I'll give people the phone numbers.
I feel anxious right now.
I've really, but you know what it is.
I know,
mean, yeah.
but I can't wait to
I've really
announce
enjoyed all the audiences guessing at what it was.
Oh, hilarious.
I also like throwing people off. Just because.
Did you throw people off?
Well, like I just said right now, people are like, oh, I knew it! After what Bill just said right now. Well,
One person accidentally stumbled onto it.
I saw someone got it on the chat yesterday, too.
Oh, on the chat, okay.
But I did not confirm or even give it any attention at all.
Any credence. 216-578-1007 and here 800-348-1007. 35. They're still coming in, aren't they?
Well, someone just said, enough stalling, Mick, with the announcement, tiny eyes.
I know, somebody said, I'm going to miss your announcement, I have to poop. I'm like, go poop, you'll be okay. 35192 if you'd like to text, AlanCoxShow.com for everything else. The aforementioned live stream there with the chat. I got a letter from somebody, actually. They said, from Max, Alan, I love the show. I think you have a great group. I especially love the live stream. It brings a whole new dynamic to the show. Yes, I believe that is called a visual dynamic.
Adds a whole other sense, yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Another D.
Yep. I have also discovered through the live stream that Bill is sexy.
Oh.
And I didn't know that when I just listened to the show. Give Pound Cake, well, it's a man.
Especially the faces he's making now.
Give Pound Cake a break because sometimes he means no harm.
Sometimes.
I don't think he ever means harm. He's not malicious. Erica, I think you are hilarious and we should totally be best friends. Now he's going to mean some harm for Pound
That's
Cake.
easy, but you have to just come over to my house and watch TV because that's all I do.
I can be your fill-in gay if Pound Cake is not available.
Oh, perfect.
All best. That's from Max.
I do need a fill-in gay.
Yeah, all right.
Excuse me?
Yeah, because you're you're at Gay Pride every weekend now.
You're off gallivanting.
Yeah.
So you just squeeze somebody else in? You
I
just
need a
replace me?
homebody gay. I need just like a nightcap gay.
All right. Cool. All
Nightcap
She needs a gay on call.
That's right.
right, have them bring you food when you're posted up on your couch.
Maybe Max will.
That's precisely what she's going to have them do. That's right. A nightcap gay is what she's going to need.
I feel the gay quota on this show. We're good.
I'm not on the show. I just mean in my personal life.
your
Well,
personal
that's
life,
funny,
too.
too. When people were guessing, they were like, oh, Mary's going to join permanently. I'm like, we have 4 people. 4 people is enough.
You fought to get that.
I love the notion that we're adding people to the... Was this Elvis Duran? One guy making $5 million and 18 other people around him doing all the work. No, it's not that. What else did somebody say? We were getting a bus.
I said Satan was leaving.
I feel like the bus thing's already done. Yeah, Satan got
contract
resigned.
There's been
fell through.
There's plenty of people that think one of us is leaving the show. That's
No one's leaving.
No one's
Yeah,
leaving.
no one's leaving.
Here's what's happening. When I first came to Cleveland in 2009, I think we were the flagship of the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
Right.
But that didn't affect the show because it was on Sundays. We'd
Right.
have players on.
Should you have a drum roll underneath this?
I'm just playing a little bit of Beastie Boys underneath
Oh,
me.
okay.
You want me to talk over timpani?
I feel like you should.
Should I?
I don't know.
Do however you
well,
want it.
because I might get long-winded here. And,
I mean,
you know,
live your bliss. Whatever you need to do. I like the timpani that goes on forever.
I like how people are like, stall job. We're 5 minutes into the show, guys. Calm
Yes,
down.
calm down.
Let
all
us
right,
build up to it a little
Trust
bit.
me. After I tell you, you're going to hear it every 30 seconds. So you're going to wish I'd never told you. When I came here, the Browns games didn't really affect,
Yeah.
So anyway, I actually started. Chris Tyler and I started having a conversation about this last year because they said, since we're the flagship of the Cavs now and the Indians now, we leave early a lot of times during those 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. And the biggest complaint that I have gotten from the audience is when that happens. They go, tons of, when the Indians are on, Cavs are on, that's great for the people who love that, but we end up getting out of here 6:30 or whatever like that. So we've been having conversations about how to rectify that situation for a while. So beginning Monday, we will be starting the show at 2 p.m. So the show will begin, the Alan Cox Show will now air at 2 p.m. 2? We'll start the show an hour early. And trust me, you will hear this message repeated because there's no point in starting an hour early if people don't know that we're on an hour early. If people start, and some people will, they'll start showing up at 3, we'll already be an hour into the show. So the show will, beginning Monday, the show will air from 2 to 6. 6 and some change.
Yeah.
Right. There will be Alan Cox Show on until 6:30, but I'll play a little, there'll be a whole thing there, but the show will air from 2 to 6. Because we really did a lot of breakouts. There's some alchemy that goes along with this when I can break out the ratings and I can go, okay, are there more people at the front of the show or are there more people at the back of the show? And there are more people at the front of the show. Mm-hmm. So, people are, when they get home, they're
home.
They're bathing their kids, they're having dinner, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'd rather be talking to people earlier than later. So this way, we'll always have full shows. Now, if you hate my guts, that's a very bad announcement for you, but whatever. What do you want for? So we won't be affected anymore by Cavs games or by Indians games. So the show will air from 2 to 6 beginning Monday. People were asking if we're not going on in other markets. That wouldn't be a very big announcement for you, right, listening in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And syndication ain't what it used to be. They haven't managed to make that happen for this show, but it's not what it used to be.
I think it's a good thing for us.
It's great.
It means that we get out an hour earlier, especially in the winter when it's pitch black outside, and it's also a good thing for the listeners because you get 4 hours of the show every day.
Yeah, you're
no
not getting
matter what.
shortchanged anymore.
They came to me, when we started having these conversations last year, they came to me with some ideas that I immediately shot down. So when we finally came around...
What were some that you shot down?
Well, they wanted me to work... They wanted the show to be 2 to 7. And I go, well, you got to call my agent because you got to renegotiate my contract. And Chris, I was like, why? I go, you want me to do an extra hour and you're not going to pay me anymore? And he's like,
why?
Whoa. And I go, well, dude, I go, no. Ixnay on the hombre. I'm like, that is not going to happen. I'm like, I'm happy to do the work. I'm not allergic to work. But it's going to be, So then there were different conversations and boring, office type things. And so 2 to 6 is the new time for the show beginning Monday. And so that's when we'll be here. So it'll be Rover till 11, Maria till 2, this show starting at 2 p.m. And then you'll still get your Cavs, you'll still get your Indians, all that kind of stuff.
Corey Roddick when they're not going on.
Corey Roddick Experience when there's no sports will begin at 6:30. So when there are sports on, it will not affect this show at all. So we're just bumping the show up by an hour.
I think it's awesome.
I love this because we do get to do a full show every day. Because there is something to that rhythm that you get into when you're doing full shows and then you get cut short, it throws things off.
Well, and mind
really
you,
does.
Listen, like in the summertime, I never really complain because we get out of here and
Yeah.
go dick around or whatever, but I'd rather be doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Mm-hmm. Now, I do realize that Pound Cake's day job ends at 2 o'clock. I don't know what that means for him, but,
I made arrangements.
You'll have to figure that out, yeah.
Yes, and people are asking if this is just during sports season. This is
forever.
Year-round, the show will now be from 2. It'll start at 2 in the afternoon. Well, until I'm fired. Major announcement on Monday. Oh, you moving the time again? No, Alan's gone. Well, I was going to open the show and go, the show is moving to Kansas City.
Yeah.
But no.
So, Pound Cake, you do have...
I let my superior know, so he's aware of what's going on.
My superior.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're the inferior.
He's mother inferior, is what they call him over there. Yeah. So anyway,
Hopefully that's good news for everybody.
I think it's good news.
Yeah.
It is a big announcement merely because this show has started at 3 o'clock for 8.5 years.
Yeah.
So for people who aren't here right now and don't hear any of the million sweepers that you're going to hear until Monday on MMS, because obviously it's no good unless people know that we're starting an hour early. So wake the friends, tell the neighbors, get the kids dressed.
Send a carrier pigeon.
That's right. Send your bereaved relatives an edible arrangement. And on the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend and tuning in at 2 p.m. beginning Monday. So every day at 2, the show will begin starting
We
Monday.
need to change the show open to that.
Well, I went through it. It doesn't really work because he's talking about 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, you should just have him say 2.
Boy, this is f***ing ponderous, man. Ponderous, f***ing ponderous. Hi, this is Casey Kasem. American Top 40 has moved to a new time. I hope you'll join me this Saturday morning and every Saturday morning at 2. So
anywho, so there you go. There's your announcement. If you can join us
Yay.
earlier, we'd love to have you along.
The
Because
suspense is over.
Yes. Okay, I've got a lot of stuff to get to today. A lot's going on. Gavin Rossdale is going to check in from London. He's on holiday with his family, but kind enough to call. Bush is going to do this third night, actually, of that Incarceration Festival. No, night 2 is when they're doing it, actually. Out there at the Mansfield Reformatory, so we'll talk to him later on. Got Kids Corner, got prison mail.
Yeah.
That we're going to get to.
We all got some.
Later on. If you want to text 35192 or get to us for anything else at AlanCockShow.com.
This is basically an episode of Rescue Me.
Yes.
I'm down for this. I want to see this. I'm interested.
Well, that's why I'm asking. I can assure you complete and undivided anonymity. Send it to me. I'll look it over. I won't show it to Pound Cake.
Don't be like that.
I won't show it to
Don't
him.
be like that. Why would you do that?
I want him to send it so bad now, just so you can see it and Pound Cake can't.
For the sole purpose of not showing it to him. Audio for it this morning, but I don't know why. Big year for the Rock Hall inductions this year. They're also streaming soccer and all kinds of crap. They picked up the new Jordan Peele series, and Jordan Peele's also doing a documentary on Lorena Bobbitt.
And he's got a movie coming out next year too, right?
He's got a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
What's his connection to the Bobbitt case?
I don't know that he has one, but she's certainly an interesting figure in American pop culture. Yeah.
She became a verb to bob at someone.
To bob at someone, yeah, like a Lewinsky. His series about Nazi hunters in the 70s in New York is called The Hunt, and that's going to be on Amazon very soon. But he's also doing a documentary on Lorena Bobbitt. Don't know what that's called.
What's Key up to besides just every commercial? Because that seems to be his thing.
He's making movies.
Is he making some movies?
He's in that Predator reboot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Good for him.
The Predator. Mm-hmm. Now, I assume, as he is black, that he dies early. But, you know it, Pound Cake. You know.
No, because it's racist if they do that in movies now. So now they're waiting till he's got
to die second or third.
No, the third. He's like third from the last.
Okay.
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but...
No, I'm just assuming.
Yeah, maybe.
But I watched like the new installments of like series movies. I'm like, yeah, they let him survive for the last 20 minutes of the movie.
But what about Get Out?
Well, that's different. That was centered around racism, and they knew it was racism. But
right.
It was also a compliment to black people.
It was reverse racism. But all the white people died.
But it was a compliment to all the racism because they were like, oh, wow, we don't have, the skills to play basketball or the long dong, so we're going to, possess these black people, take their soul, and embody their, traits.
That's what you took from that movie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was a
all
compliment.
right. We don't have the ability to play basketball or the long dong, so we're going to
I didn't get that from the movie.
do all these other things. Don't tell Larry Bird.
Well, why else did they need the black people? They took their soul, and then they were
because they were old, and they just needed a young vessel.
And
they were
young.
racist. They used black people.
No.
Is that what that was? I saw that movie one time and enjoyed it, but I thought it was crazy overrated.
Oh man, I love it.
It was okay, but I was amazed it got all the hype that it did.
I don't think I loved it.
But was that the point? I know it took a shift there when they put him in and they're going to drill his head or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? They were taking their essence?
Yes.
Black
Yeah.
people?
They were
that's
taking
why
their
they
body.
Yeah, that's why they were in the sunken places, because they're still there, but they're
Not conscious.
they're
they've
not
been pushed
conscious
aside,
of it.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
why
right.
like there'd be
Right.
like a thing that would trigger him, and then one guy's like, "You got to get out of here." That's the whole movie.
Like his dad was
Get
in
out.
another
Yeah.
black guy or whatever.
Yeah, his grandparents, like they're just
Okay.
like switching brains around basically.
Right.
I wasn't too upset about it. I was like, yeah, you know what? I mean, if I was white and I had a little pink one, I probably want a long dong too. So,
A little pink one.
Yeah. So I would,
For all the white guys you've banged, Pound Cake, where do you come up with a little pink one?
I just assumed the ones that
Are you having
trying-
sex with dogs?
No.
Red Rockets.
Red Rockets?
But these weren't people. These weren't like healthy people. These were people that were dying,
Aged.
switching into a younger body.
Young and strong.
Yeah.
But it
Well, sure.
wasn't about the
I mean,
penis.
that's a tale as old as art itself.
They're not gonna
you know,
mention-
drinking the blood of virgins.
Because there's also Grandma, who was going from a woman's old lady's body into a younger lady's body.
Now,
Like
she
this,
had a
yeah.
little pink dong.
Yeah, there you go.
Grandma was not hung at all in that movie. And that in itself is a racist. I was talking to a buddy of mine that works at Apple in Cupertino. And
I know that place from my weather.
yeah, right.
like-
Shows it. Here's where it is at Apple Park or whatever. And he pointed me to a story that was kind of making the rounds, that at that new Apple headquarters out there, you know, where they all work, everybody's getting standing desks now because Tim Cook says that sitting is the new cancer. How you feel about that, cancer patients? You're as sick as someone who sits all day, according to Tim Cook. Sitting is the new cancer. And so they're getting standing desks. That's got to make you feel good. I'll tell you what, those sitting chemo treatments, those are not cheap. No wonder this guy's upset. Sitting is the new cancer.
Erica, you could probably sue this dude, because with your condition, you have to sit.
Yeah,
and
if I
that's
work
like
for him.
that's like inflammatory.
It's inflammatory. It's defamatory.
He'll probably
It's
even-
outrageous.
He might even have healthy people fainting if their legs get locked for too long.
I'm
you know?
torn with those standing desks because at my morning job, we have those. And
But you have the sitting option, though.
we have the sitting option, but like I try because I'm like I sit on my ass at both of my jobs. Like
Right.
I don't want to sit all day. Like I'm just gonna be a fat slob, even more so than I already am. So I try. I really do try. I get up in the morning, I grab my coffee, and I'm just like standing. And then I start to lean, and then that lean turns to I'll just sit for a little bit. Then I'm sitting for like 2 hours. So it doesn't even really work. Like as soon as I raise my desk up,
Well, that's why people get up in the middle of the day out here and walk. All these desk jockeys, they're walking all day. You know, every so often
do
I'll
that
do
break.
a lap up around the building.
do a
and-
lap.
I do a lap
Sure.
around the building as well at both jobs.
I like the idea of a jumping desk, where anytime you want to type anything, you got to jump up and type real quick, and then you jump up and type a couple of letters, and you'll stay in
Work
great
for it.
shape.
The
yeah.
keyboard is just
Yeah.
far or too far away for your
Right.
reach.
It's the Ninja Warrior desk.
I gotcha.
Where it's, you're always like, or you have to like hang from something with one hand while you type with the other. It just keeps you in
Well, they had this
really good shape.
They're trying to sell this stationary bike that's got a desk on it or something. So
Oh,
you,
I've
like,
seen that, yeah.
pedal or whatever.
Huh.
But the reviews on it are like, that doesn't do anything. I mean, you're still sitting. You know, if you're
Stationary
sitting,
bike helps, though. I mean, it helps with blood flow.
Yeah, but like, just go home and do it. Why would you want to type on your laptop while you're in a stationary bike?
I
That
guess-
should be kind of. I think that exercise should be something that.
It's separate from work.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of, because it's kind of work in and of itself.
People are
but-
workaholics though, so they think that's like why companies have gyms in them.
No, I understand. I mean,
Because-
people want to multitask. I'm
people
just
live
saying
there.
that it's a good way to kind of, clear your head from other things, and
Yeah, I
it's
think
good for creativity when you step away from something and do something else, then go back to it.
That's true.
Alan, I think Steve Jobs would have preferred sitting to the old cancer.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
For a guy whose successor died from cancer, you'd think that Tim Cook might have parsed his words a little
I think
differently.
he means the being too comfortable is like the new cancer because I do see
Everything's the new cancer. The old cancer is still around.
Yeah, we should also figure out the old cancer before we get onto the new cancer.
Let's figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? We're never going to figure it out. It keeps changing. You know, it's like they say, Bill, that vaping is the new lung cancer. Do they say that? Oh, boy.
Well, it's that wet lung or whatever.
Yeah, you got the popcorn lung.
Yeah, popcorn
popcorn
Ugh.
lung.
Nice buttery lungs.
Yummy. Some of that yellow grease on there.
Have you heard those ads for the Juul where they're trying to have a discussion with their kid about vaping? And the parents come in, they're like, we want to talk to you about vaping. And he's like, Mom, but I don't. And they're like, we want to make sure you have all the facts. And it is so corny.
Where is this? This is on television?
I hear it on iHeart when I'm driving around listening to different sports shows and stuff.
What's the facts that they give them?
That you shouldn't start vaping if you don't already smoke. Basically that. And it's not for children. No children should be vaping is basically the whole message there because they got to cover their ass because it's a nicotine product.
Of course.
So that's basically the whole
Even
thing.
though it's flavored like blueberry muffins, it's not for you, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the old Joe Camel argument.
Right. And then there's another one that they play, and it's about dudes being creepy and hitting girls up for nude pictures and stuff like that. And these are exclusively on sports stations that I hear these, where they have to tell dudes to chill the F out because if a girl's not sending you nudes, you can't just call her a whore and shame her into doing it. That's harassment, and that's like an ad that you hear all the time if you're listening to the Dan Patrick Show or something.
Mm-hmm. Here it is from iHeartRadio.
Wherever you are, so are we. The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Time to give stuff away.
All right, a couple of tickets for the Stand Up Together comedy show honoring the late Nicholas Ramsey. Everybody who's funny in Cleveland is going to be part of this show. Bill Squire, Mary Santora, Mike Polk Jr., many more. July 21st, it goes down at the Lakewood Civic Auditorium. You can go to standuptogetherohio.com if you want the full details. These tickets for you if you're caller number 16. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
7 out of 10 listeners agree. On what? We have no idea. This is the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
35192 on a text. We made the announcement at the top of the show that this program will be moving to 2 p.m. starting Monday. Afternoons at 2 here on MMS.
It's going to be really hard to not do 2.
2. Well, feel free to do that until you get tired of it or you're asked by a government official to stop, whatever. So whatever plans you've got to make, I don't think this will affect podcast listeners, obviously.
Other than they'll get more content because we won't have those days where we cut short.
That's right. That will be the case. And the show itself will be a little bit longer anyway. Technically we'll be on 2 to 6:10 every day. So there's that.
Someone said I thought for sure the announcement was that Russ finally learned how to use a computer and got that petition to get you off the air.
Trucker Russ?
Yeah.
No, there's only one petition that matters right now, and that's the petition
porn
that I started to get them to release the porn of the Akron firefighters. So if you go to my Twitter...
Very important work you're doing.
I do... It's for the people. So if you want to help me out and sign that petition, you can go to my Twitter, @Bill Squire. It's on the Facebook fan page. Just go ahead and sign. You guys are being a lot of people are clicking on it, but they're not signing it. I need you guys to be active.
I've already signed it.
I appreciate that, Alan.
If I can take the time to sign the Release the Akron Firefighters Porn petition at change.org, I think other people can do that too.
It's got 37 right now. We need 100,000 to get this thing anywhere.
We're on our way.
Yeah, we need you guys to help out. And
now, what happens when it hits 100,000?
I have no idea. But I just think the more people that sign it...
They have to take it seriously at 100,000, I think.
Who has to take it seriously?
The White House.
The White House?
They have to look at it.
What does the White House have to do with change.org?
I don't know. I figured I had a Donald Trump. Well, that's the White House.
WhiteHouse.gov petition.
That's a different one.
Oh, okay.
But the more attention it gets, the better.
A pair of firefighters in Akron who they have now made public. Somebody sent me the link to this yesterday, by the way, and I was like, well, this can't be them because they're so stupid because they called themselves the fire couple or something.
Yeah.
But it turned out it was. So these two people who apparently were in a long-term relationship, their identities and faces have been made public, both a couple of lookers.
Hey, that girl's got a banging body.
She does. That is true.
Her body is great.
Wait, listen. There's.
She's a helmet-on firefighter lady.
I was going to say there's nobody I was going to say there's nobody with an awful body who's making porno, but then what the hell am I thinking? Of course. It's mostly people
Lots
with
of
awful
people.
bodies making porno.
Yeah.
Pair of firefighters in Akron made an amateur porno at one of their fire stations. I don't think it was one that either of them were stationed at. Video should be made public for many reasons. Okay, this is how Bill laid this out for you. And I think it's, I don't think you'll be able to argue with it. One, to discourage future firefighters from rubbing their nude, sexy bodies together on city property. Two, to ensure that no hoses, helmets, poles, or other equipment were used improperly. And three, and arguably most importantly, for FAP. So 39 people have currently signed the Release the Akron Firefighters porn. Again, I don't know what happens on these petition sites. There's already a comment. As a taxpayer, I think I have a right to see what they did. So there you go. You can leave a comment, but most importantly, sign that petition because we would really like to see what happens when it gets to a certain number of people.
You watched the video, didn't you?
No, I did not watch the video.
Why?
I don't want to see because I don't want to see a couple of civilians go at it in a firehouse.
But you can make it public. All you gotta do is share it.
That's not the point, Poundcake.
Isn't that? Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, I need to get caught up in this. I don't care what happens to it. I mean, for entertainment purposes, I'm not going to take an active hand. I will take one active hand in it
I'm like, wait a
when I
minute.
actually watch the video.
I was gonna
But,
say the same person that probably sent you the link was it probably the same person that sent me the link, and I looked at it. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Poundcake's the guy who's going to get pinched for revenge porn or something.
For sure.
Who in 2018 sees a video and goes, "Hey, share that," when it's in the news?
No, you guys.
That's
are
what's
going to
get this guy.
making
That's
it
what's going to get
public.
Poundcake in trouble.
I'm doing a bit, man.
We're trying to get people right.
That's like people are commenting on
You know what,
like
Poundcake, go
after I
ahead.
saw their
Share the
pictures.
video. Yeah.
After I saw their pictures, I don't know if I want to see it. I'm like, no one
yeah,
really
we
cares
don't
about
care.
seeing- It's a
That's
goofy
right.
joke.
It's funny.
I want to see how many people sign this because it's funny.
If you're having trouble with it, refer directly to Directive Number 3 for FAP. All right? So find that Bill has started the Release the Akron Firefighters Porn petition at change.org.
A
Hey,
worthy
42
cause.
people now have signed it.
Look at that,
All
Bill.
the way from 39 mere seconds ago. That's
the AC
40,
bump,
41,
all right.
42. 3 more people. There you go.
We're worth at least 7
39
new votes.
to 42.
Nope, 44. Look at it, it's climbing every second. It's climbing higher and higher.
That's right. A lot of people.
Do your part. It's your civic duty to get this done.
Duty. I did address this at the top of the show. We made the announcement, but a lot of people are asking about Maria. Maria is still here.
Yep.
She will just be. I'm taking an hour of her show. It's that simple. So she'll be on after Rover and before me. She'll be on from 11 to 2 instead of 11 to 3. But Maria's not going anywhere. So if you listen to her at work, which you should. She will still be there with her dulcet tones.
Can't get rid of that sexy voice.
Nope.
Oh, God, I wish I had her voice.
Right. Sorry, I'm
What,
reading
people
it.
are
they're-
texting you?
Right. Anywho, it's, yes. We will be talking about Alan Cox Show bar crawls. Yes, that does not rise to the level of a major announcement.
No.
Major announcement. So Monday we will begin this show at 2 p.m. and for the foreseeable future. At the very least, through the end of my current contract,
Right.
which is Christmas of 2020, I think.
Wow.
At which point I will probably move the show 1 to 5.
Just keep moving it up until we eventually are in mornings.
Yeah.
See what we did there?
See?
Well, timing is everything. Like, I couldn't imagine. Like, I don't know if I would have been able to do the show if I was still in college, because I used to leave my, I think, my noon class and leave at 1:30 and then get up here, and I would just get up here at, 2:12. So
Well, thank God you're able to make it.
Well, and I realize that there are some listeners who can't start listening till 3. I understand all that.
grown accustomed.
I certainly can't help. But think about Mary Santora, who 3 o'clock is also her birth control alarm.
All right.
The beginning of this
right.
show, when she would sit in for you occasionally, Erica, the beginning of this show would remind her
Yeah.
To kill whatever was coming out of
Going to
it.
need a new alarm, a new reminder.
A new reminder
Or
of
change
some
the
kind.
birth control time.
That's right.
3 o'clock, no babies. That's what she would say.
Figure that out. Mm-hmm. Alan, if you're starting at 2, that's going to cut out at least 3 or 4 Red Hot Chili Pepper songs every day.
Probably
You're
more.
welcome.
Honestly.
That is true. Here, I'll play you one of these that our intrepid and amazing Bob Coates put together.
And now, a timely reminder. On Monday, set your cocks back one.
No, not that one.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. Where's the other one, though?
Set your cocks back
Yeah.
1 hour.
After 50 years, WMMS has reached the required number of AC/DC songs a rock station must play. So, beginning Monday, the Alan Cox Show can now start 1 hour earlier at 2 o'clock.
Right, that's pretty good.
That's so funny.
That's really funny.
Yup. So you'll be hearing things like that through the remainder of the week. We'll be out on Friday. I learned, by the way, that I share my birthday with one Art Modell.
Oh.
I don't know who.
Oh, yeah?
Is he alive? He's dead, yeah.
He's dead. Yes, he's very dead.
Do people here still hate him?
Oh, yeah. Like,
Forever.
they booed his his funeral
They
and whatnot.
booed his funeral.
Don't you remember that was like a big thing?
That is an unhealthy attachment to sports.
Well,
When you boo an old man's
there was
funeral.
no love lost
wasn't old, he was
between
dead.
Art Modell and Browns fans.
Well, you don't get much older than that once you die. Yeah.
Well, you don't, but he was dead.
But he was old when he died, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you're responsible for, I don't know, genocide. Can't see why people would boo your funeral.
He committed a football genocide.
He wasn't Ceausescu. He was Art Modell, for Christ's sake.
I don't know who Chewy Ceausescu is, but Art Modell is a piece of garbage, and I'll never forgive him.
Wow, never.
Yeah, once again.
How can you imagine that your life would have been better had he never removed the
The
Cleveland
Ravens
Browns?
won a Super Bowl. The Ravens were the Browns. The Browns would have won a Super Bowl. That would have made my life better.
Healthy economy in Cleveland.
Please. Maybe they had a better fan base in Baltimore. You ever think about that?
You are.
We're booing Alan's funeral.
Yeah. I am.
Did you ever
Better
think about?
fans in the
Did you
entire
ever
world.
think about that, Bill?
No,
you
I
mean
didn't think about that.
You mean
it's not
the
a rational
you
situation.
mean the fans that put on a parade for losing?
Yeah, that's
those
how
great
dedicated
fans?
we are.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Imagine how great the parade would be if we won the Super Bowl.
Right.
If the Browns won the Super Bowl, the entire city would be on fire. Like, we would lose our freaking minds.
If we have a winning
and I say
record,
our, I mean them, because I wouldn't.
it's going to be insane if we get a winning record. Like,
If we go
you remember the year we went like
7-9 is a great.
7 yeah, well, we had that, and remember how when we were like 7-4 that one season
Yeah.
when Hoyer was the quarterback. Remember how crazy people were about the Browns?
And there were a ton of like Brown-centric events going on.
Once the Browns get good,
They're called games, Erica.
people are going to lose their mind.
I love that you still have hope. Like once they get good.
What's the point of not having
They
hope?
can't
possible.
They cannot get worse. Is
Yeah.
the point.
And I mean, after 50-something years, even the Cavs, got a championship. So
Let me
why
ask you
wouldn't-
this: let's say they do go to the Super Bowl. All right, win or not, they're there. Do you think that would increase or decrease the number of people who would describe going to the bathroom as taking the Browns to the Super Bowl? Do you think that would gain popularity?
Gain popularity.
Because once
It
they
would
go,
gain
it's not
popularity.
as funny. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's still
Especially if we
funny.
went to the Super Bowl and lost in a very Browns way, like we were winning the whole game, and the very last 2 minutes of the game, the other team gets a touchdown and
Just
embarrasses
let's
us.
Can we not talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, because that probably would
Just
happen.
I don't need to.
Okay. Don't pile
Don't
on
put
with
it.
it.
Don't put it out into the world. We don't need that.
I don't
need
have to.
positivity.
The Browns are already doing it.
The universe is for Akron porn petitions, Erica.
That's right.
It's not for Nelly naysayers about professional football teams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Even if the Browns start getting good, I don't know if I'm gonna be like a Browns fan, like a diehard Browns fan.
I
ever.
like football, so
I like
I mean,
football,
I like
too.
watching it. I mean, listen,
But-
the Bears, that's my team. They always stink. Although we have Mitch Trubisky, who pride of Metro Ohio, who knows? But they always stink. The White Sox, that's my
Yeah.
A team. They suck.
Yeah. I would just feel like a front runner if I started rooting for the Browns and they started winning, because the last couple of seasons, I really have not watched many games. So I don't want to
They're
be
fun.
like
I've
I don't want
watched
to be
them
a
all.
fair
Fun.
weather fan.
They're
you know?
fun.
Watched every single one.
Also, I don't like the colors. I'm sorry, I don't. Orange and brown are hideous. They don't look good on anyone.
You see that viral video
Very
of
good colors.
of the high school receptionist who sang on the PA system the last day of school?
No.
Do you see this? She's
No,
kind of
this is
cute,
like-
actually,
this
a
is
young
like
girl.
What is this, a flight or something?
No. It's she sings "At Last," that Etta James song.
Damn.
She can sing, yeah.
This is over the PA?
Yeah.
It's a good PA they have.
She's like a young redhead
This
singing.
is my mom on the last day of school.
I'm like, how is no student banging this girl? She's real cute. She can sing.
Maybe they are.
I mean, it's not as good as the ones we've heard,
The
but
Cavs are moving on. Our lonely single championship days are going to be over. And LeBron is going to take a championship home.
why couldn't we have that guy sing that over some high school PA system? I remember in high school, my junior and senior year, I went to Catholic high school. I was the student class vice president, and as such, had to read a prayer on the PA before first period, right? Post Pledge of Allegiance or National Anthem, whatever we played, but pre-class. And in period 1, I had stats with Mr. Brown, and it was 3 doors down. It was 3 doors away from the main office, and every morning, it was like I was doing it for the first time. He'd go, "Alan, go get a slip." I said, "Mr. Brown, that was just me reading the prayer. You're late." I was just in there reading. Did you hear my voice coming out? Every day I had to go through this. Go get the slip. I was just on the PA.
Why didn't they give you a slip?
Tomorrow, I think they like trolling me, even the school. I said, tomorrow, that's going to be me again. It's one of these dumb things I have to do, right?
You did
Tomorrow,
it every day?
Every day. Every morning before class. Tomorrow, that's going to be me. All right. Next day. Alan. Yeah, Mr. Brown, great teacher. Brand new he came over right from Delhi to teach us all stats and probability. And every day, go get the slip. Say, I was just in the office. I was just in there. Yeah, nobody would help me out. The principal wouldn't send a note. Nothing. I was on my own.
I didn't like in high school that a lot of teachers were very stingy on offering hall passes to go to the bathroom. I'm like, dude, you gotta pee. You gotta pee. That shouldn't be like may I pretty please?
Well, it's because they didn't believe anybody. They thought you were going to have to hit a blunt or...
Sorry, but you should allow a chick to use the bathroom without question at all times.
No.
What?
Girls lie, too.
But we got girl problems.
So what? You weren't asking to go put a pawn in. You were asking to go pee.
Oh, I remember being blunt sometimes, too. I'm like, hey, Mr. Kohlbacher, I got a tampon that needs to go in there toot sweet.
Oh.
I didn't care.
Oh, I got a tampon the size of a watermelon.
Well, if they were being ridiculous, like not allowing me to have the pass, then I would just embarrass them by, saying I had lady problems.
I have diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Clueless, she was cruising the Crimson Wave, had to haul ass to the ladies.
Of course.
We had passes on our assignment notebooks. It was just a little place where you would put a little initial.
Yeah?
And I would just forge signatures because they don't know all the teachers. So you just write a name, make it look kind of nice, and they're like, okay. And
wow.
I would show up to classes. So what
did you do?
I would
with that extra time.
Those were the early days of Bad Boy Bill.
Yeah, I would take 3 lunches during a day, and then show up at the end of my class. I would go and be like, "Yep, I just got back from something," and they'd be like, "Okay." And I'd sit down and at the end of the class, and they'd be like, "Well, here's what you missed, and here's your homework." And I'd be like, "All right, sounds good."
And how well did you do in school?
I did terrible, but I didn't care.
He was taking those 3 lunches.
Yeah. I was killing it at lunch.
You were hungry, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't eat lunch the whole time.
But no teachers noticed that you were like...
We had a giant school. It was overcrowded, and there's hundreds and hundreds of white kids that look just like me.
Yeah, I wasn't one of those under the radar kids.
Oh, I was always under the radar.
Yeah.
And it was by design, so I could get away with stuff.
Alan, that lady on the PA is 57. Really? She's
57?
She looks like a young girl. Yeah.
She's hot.
Good for her.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm real excited about this show announcement today because now I can coast through work an hour earlier. I always use 3 o'clock as like, the descent of my day. And
Right.
A
lot of people use that as like a signpost for their day at work, where they go, "Oh, I'm almost done,"
Yeah,
or I'm,
sure.
whatever. Yeah.
For sure, yeah. So I'm almost going to pretty much coast through my whole day with Rover in the morning, and you guys at 2 o'clock.
Listen, between Rover and I, we are hoping to single-handedly decimate the productivity in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah. What are you, a surgeon? Probably not a big deal, right?
No, I mean, I honestly, I get work done. It's just I'm not like I'm just coasting in my head. I'm autopilot. I'm concentrating on and then I'm calling in.
Steve goes, "What do you mean I cut off the wrong leg?"
Whoops.
Right. Okay, thank you, Steve. Monday we start the show at 2.
He's one of those flight path coordinators in the tower. What do they call that?
Air traffic controller?
There you go.
Flight path coordinator, I think, might be pretty good, too.
Yeah.
That's about the same.
Yeah,
That's
sure
a
is.
good name for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your flight path coordinator checking in with you. We just crashed.
Yeah. All right, I got a break. I'm going to have Ministry tickets for you in a bit. They're coming back to the Agora in the fall. That'll be a blast. Gavin Rossdale of Bush going to be checking in. Bush is going to do night 2 of the Incarceration Festival out in Mansfield, so we'll catch up with him in a bit. 35192 if you want to text in here.
And now, a timely reminder. On Monday, set your cocks back 1 hour.
Okay.
The Alan Cox Show starts afternoons at 2 on 100.7 WMMS. It's here.
By the way, what's going on with you and this new promo girl?
What are you talking about?
Your tweet.
What tweet?
Yeah,
Your
You
tweet.
were kind of rude to her.
Why are you being a dick to this new girl?
I wasn't being a dick to her. I gave her a compliment.
I thought it was kind of rude what you said.
It was.
What did he say?
You know that we met this girl.
Yeah.
She was out at
Taylor.
Foot Golf.
Yeah.
Taylor.
She's brand new, excited to be
Brand
here.
new, right?
Yeah.
So she tweets, and I only saw this because of Pound Cake's response. Tonight after our event, a group of teenage boys approached me and stood in line to take a photo with me and asked for my autograph. Working for iHeartRadio is wild. Okay. And Pound Cake goes, it's because you're hot, not because you're famous. What does that mean?
I don't understand how that's rude.
It's because you're hot, not because you're famous. First of all, she didn't imply that she was famous. She said working for iHeartRadio is wild.
Okay.
She was having an
experience.
What a weird experience.
Yeah.
Okay. And I told her, I was like, it's probably because you're hot.
No, you said it's because you're hot,
She's hot.
not because you're famous.
But
what does that mean? She didn't say I'm famous.
I didn't know. She said after an event, people were lining up to take pictures with her. I assume that's because someone.
You could have said
they thought she was someone of.
Why you needed to respond, I don't know. But since you did, I see a million things a day I don't respond to.
I follow her, and we were talking.
You could have said it's.
I know what he meant.
I don't know what he meant.
What he meant was he was trying to pay her a compliment, like you're a hot chick, they're going to want to take photos with you.
Right.
But it came out weird because he said, not because you're famous. Like she was implying
The
that
response
she was
should have been,
famous.
it's because you're hot, period.
Yeah, it's because you're hot.
Now, a girl inherently will know her level of attractiveness. Deep in her heart, she knows, okay? So if this girl's hot, she knows that, right? That's not what she was talking about.
No, she was just saying like...
And she's brand new, Pound Cake.
I don't understand why that's a big deal.
You don't... That's my point. That's why I'm calling you out on it.
Okay,
You don't
so
understand.
I don't understand.
To go...
mean.
Because it was a dick comment. Because she wasn't implying that she was... Where did the you're not famous thing come from?
I thought she was saying because she did some event and some guys were lining up thinking that she was like the artist or something like that.
There was nothing in her tweet implied that. She said working for iHeartRadio is wild because she's on the promo team, right?
Okay, but
she's
I didn't know what event she was referring to.
You were projecting something onto her. I don't know what. Why would you say not because you're famous?
I didn't know what event she was referring to. I didn't
Then
know
why, if you were so unclear as to the meaning of her tweet, why even respond?
Because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I was talking to her. She was talking to me on Twitter. She was laughing about how I was kicking the ball funny. I figured we were
that's
on that.
what it is.
That's
he wanted to rib her back.
I wasn't ribbing her anything. I gave her a compliment.
This was first of all, that's not a compliment. You
It
read
is a
that
compliment.
It's because you're hot, not because you're famous. That's a compliment to you.
If I would have put a LOL or a laughing crying emoji, would that be a compliment then?
It would have been more lighthearted.
If you were hot.
Okay, well, then I forgot
It's
the
because
LOL.
you're hot. That is not a compliment. Do you know what a compliment is?
Yes, I know what a compliment is.
You don't, because that's not a compliment.
Well, then it came off wrong.
It sounds like something you would say to me because you know me well and you know I would laugh at it.
I figured she would laugh too.
But you don't know her. But now I forgot. She's the one who was giving him a hard time in
Yeah,
foot golf.
she is.
So he's trying to stick it to her.
I'm not trying to stick to anybody. She was making fun of me. I figured we were on that
Not
level.
to her.
What level?
Wait,
you don't even know this girl.
Wait, so were you ribbing her back, or were you complimenting her? Because you kind of
I
just
guess I
flip-flop
should have
right
put
there.
the LOL. I didn't think it was that serious.
How about you just put, it's because you're hot.
Okay,
Period.
well then that's what I should have said.
Not
but that's-
because you're famous
but I
is what he put.
I don't understand why that's a dick
Because
move.
she didn't say anything that implied that she thought it was the result of fame. Your response should be commensurate with the comment.
Once again, I thought that because she was wearing an iHeartRadio t-shirt, and if there was like an artist there or something like that, they thought she was a part of like the entourage or whatever. I didn't know the exact context of what the event was.
If
All
it's
I
an
said-
iHeartRadio event, why would anybody think that she was the artist?
Why would anybody lined up to take pictures with her?
Because, like you said, you're hot.
And like she said, this is wild.
Right. This is crazy.
Yeah, why would she's questioning it. She's going, it's weird working for iHeart. Somebody asked for a picture with me.
And
And
she's having fun.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying.
I just don't know why you had to make some dick comment like that.
Well, it came off.
And mind you,
dickish.
I don't have any dog in this fight other than the fact that you do rep this show.
It came off dickish, but that's not what it was intended to be.
Well, then don't leave a comment next time.
I
if you don't
almost
know,
retweeted his retweet.
If you don't know, if you don't know
I did
something
retweet
as
it.
if you don't know something as simple as what a compliment is and isn't, don't make a comment.
Okay.
These are people we work with. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but it didn't.
If you
come
want
off
to
as
kick my balls or Erica's or Bill's, this is a brand new girl that I just met 3 days ago.
And she doesn't know if you're joking.
But
you know what I mean?
I figure everyone in this building has a sense of humor. And
But
she
why
was
do you
all-
assume, A, that she has a sense of humor?
Because she was riding
B,
around with us and we were
that
all having fun together.
She was working the event.
That doesn't mean she can't have fun.
Why do you... Okay, first of all, she might have been having fun, but that's not why she was there. First of all, you don't know this girl at all. So you assume that she's just going to, by osmosis, know Cody Brown's amazing sense of humor? Oh, she knows I was kidding. It's because you're hot, not because you're famous.
Yeah, I don't know. It came out wrong. I know that you didn't mean anything.
You're
by
sticking
it
it to
came
her
out
because
wrong.
she made fun of you at foot golf.
That's not why.
Then why?
I don't think
I
that's
already
why.
told you why.
Because you think that's a compliment. I don't believe that.
I just think he says things.
You know what a compliment is.
You just say things and you don't think about how that is going to read to somebody that you don't know that well.
Well, then
You
that's-
just say something that's on your mind without really thinking about it.
Okay, well, I should have put LOL. I should have put LOL or a crying, laughing emoji.
No,
'Cause that's
or
not what it was.
it's because you're hot, period.
Okay.
It doesn't require an emoji.
Okay, then it was a bad judgment on my part.
To me, it just came across as like putting her in her place. Like, you lowly promotions person.
That's
You're not
what
famous.
I'm
I worked
saying.
in promotions.
I know that. I'm
Right,
just
and
saying,
you don't anymore.
I'm just saying
so-
how it read. I'm not saying that you're saying that about her. I'm just saying that is how it read to me. Like, you were like, you're not famous, you lowly promotions lady.
That's where I'm coming from.
And
if
she did.
that's not what you meant, then that's good.
I did like her reply to it.
Yeah,
She
I laughed.
posted Ariana Grande gift
She was like,
going
"I'll
like,
take
"I'll
it."
take it."
Right,
Yeah.
but she had to do that so
Right.
that you didn't think she took it the wrong way. She had to be nice and go, ha ha.
Yeah.
But I guarantee she read that and was like, what?
She probably was like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Damn. You know, that's how I would have read it. If you would have said something like that to me and I was in her position, I would be like, well, I wasn't saying I was famous, but okay.
Pound Cake thinks everybody knows where he's coming from at all times. Why do you think everybody knows what you mean? I don't understand that.
No, I don't know.
You don't think that's odd? You don't think it's weird?
I didn't think it was weird, but apparently it's weird. I didn't know that.
Not necessarily weird. Like, you got to read the room. You got to know who you're talking to when you say certain things. If you would have said that to me, of course I'm going to just razz you back and whatever. But, like, she is new here. She doesn't know anyone, and it just came off weird.
First, I didn't know that she was new. I knew I hadn't seen her that often, but I rarely see anybody in promotions that often anyways. So just because I haven't done any events with her.
But you know you're following her on Twitter.
But no
Like,
matter how long someone
I know
has
that-
been here, what I'm saying is if you haven't had any interactions with them in person, maybe it's not a good idea to assume they know where your
I
sense
know,
of humor
and that-
lies.
Her being here for a short amount of time, that's besides the point. I understand that. But what I was saying was we were laughing, we were kikiing, we were cracking jokes at each other. I was
kikiing.
Somebody we were talking before about how difficult it is to get jobs or difficult for employers to find people. And I got a bunch, when we went to break, I got a ton of texts from people who were like, you would not believe how hard it is to find people. So it's not a matter of there not being jobs. Lots of jobs. Real hard to find people. Even
that are qualified.
Well, not even qualified. That's the thing. Not even qualified. Obviously, if there's certain jobs for which you have to have a certain level of education or experience or whatever. But I'm talking about people who are like, I run a landscaping company and I can't find people.
Play WMMS on iHeartRadio.
Now back to the Alan Cox Show.
(216-578-1007) or 800-348-1007. Nine Inch Nails already dropping another album, by the way. It's a short one, but it's going to be out on Friday.
Is it 7 songs like Kanye?
It's half an hour, yeah. I think it's probably an EP, but he wants to call it. It's called Bad Witch. And that will be the third in the trilogy that he, if you're keeping up with your Nine Inch Nails calendar, that tour is not coming here, but they kicked it off a couple nights ago. So some new songs that they've been premiering have been popping up out there. If you want to see, it's Nine Inch Nails and the Jesus and Mary chain we were talking about a couple of weeks ago because you have to buy hard tickets. Trent Reznor is, ironically, the very scene that gave him life now annoys him. Technological age. Hoisted by his own petard, as it were. So you can't get tickets online. I'm sure there's third-party brokers that will sell them to. I don't know. He's trying to avoid all that. He wants people to get back to waiting in line for tickets and camping out.
Yeah.
You know.
Good luck with that.
Right. So anyway, the new Nine Inch Nails is going to be out on Friday. You know who's got the #1 album in the country right now?
Is it me?
You have an album?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Decisions aren't my thing.
Wow. You mean #1 on iTunes comedy charts?
A long time
That
ago,
album?
yes, it was.
Well,
it's been quite some time, but it was up there at one point.
You can't become unfamous, Bill. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm trying.
All right.
It seems like it's happening, but the petition's doing well.
Is it?
Yeah. Keep signing up for that petition. Release the Akron firefighters porn on change.org. There's links on my Twitter at Bill Squire.
Who do you think has the #1 album in the country right now? Now, mind you, you have to sell far fewer units to get to the #1 album just because of the way things are. So it's not like the old days.
Ariana Grande. No, wait. Is her album out yet?
No.
Is it the Carters?
Kanye.
He's #2. That Kanye Cudi album's #2. Who beat Kanye and Kid Cudi?
XXX
Country
Nation.
person?
What did you say?
The XXX guy. The one that died.
How did you pronounce his name?
Tenation.
I don't know how to even say
You
it,
mean
so.
XXX Tentacion?
I never heard of him
I don't
before he
even know
died
who he
yesterday.
is.
So.
Really never heard of him?
No.
My son is on suicide watch. I mean, I'm being facetious, but my son was way into that guy. Well, I'll get to that.
And my kids were really big fans. They were fighting over who's a bigger fan. They also just recently downloaded all the albums. I saw it on my...
it's on your... sure.
We all share one
Yeah.
player, so you can see recent downloads, and all of the albums just showed up yesterday.
I liked them. I mean, it was, it was...
A wife,
You had to be
or
into that SoundCloud rap, but...
woman-beaten piece of garbage.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Dave Matthews Band has the #1 album in the country.
God.
I couldn't believe it either.
Barf.
Their 7th #1 album of their career. In 2018, the Dave Matthews Band has the #1 album. It's called Come Tomorrow.
Well, it is socks with sandals season, so sounds about right.
I guess. They beat Kanye and Cudi with that new album.
That's pretty impressive.
Plus, weed is legal in more states now.
Is that?
Yeah,
that'll keep rap albums from being #1.
Yeah, I guess
Legal
you're right.
weed, yeah. Boy, what's got to do with that? No, so XXX Tentacion. 20 years old, this guy. He was putting the finishing touches on a $4 million mansion. Guess where this guy lived?
Chicago?
Parkland, Florida.
Oh. Damn.
Coincidence?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. He's 20. If you're into this guy, you know who he is. If you don't, like Erica said, this is the first time you've ever heard of
Do
him.
you have like a sample of his music?
Yeah, I'll play you a little bit.
Okay.
How does he have $4 million? Like over
That's
$4
what
million.
I always think too. I'm like,
he's a newbie.
If you're in a band, I mean, the rap game clearly works differently. And I mean, listen, you're one guy. you know, a lot of these rap dudes were already loaded by the time they would get a record label deal back in the day.
And there's
because
no
they'd make
production
money.
value. Like it's you and a mic and a DJ.
Right, but all these guys have like 100 collaborators with them, all of whom who want a piece of whatever.
That's true.
You know, if you're in a band and you get a record deal and they front you the money, there are really successful, well-known bands that were in debt for years into their career because you pay the label back. So they'll talk to bands, unless you're a Nickelback or a U2, there are a lot of bands that are not rich because they're still paying their label back. These rap guys, he's 19 years old, got, like I said, SoundCloud rap. You post stuff online, dude's got $4 million. Anyway.
Over $4 million because he has a $4 million mansion.
Yeah. This is him in Trippie Redd, if you're keeping track at home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Trippie Redd.
Is he singing? Is this him?
Yeah. It's called F Love, Erica. That's how he felt.
You sure it's not called Flub?
Anyway.
Wow.
He
Hard
did-
to believe that guy was
He did talk about dying young.
on top.
He was shopping for something, and somebody ran up and shot him and killed him. And they,
like a motorcycle or
it
something.
was like a random.
Which he probably would have died young anyway if he's getting a motorcycle.
That's true.
He talked about dying young.
Worst thing comes to worst, I die a tragic death or some and I'm not able to see out my dreams. I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves and able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive and to at least have a good life.
He just wants something positive for the kids.
How old is he? He sounds like a kid.
He was 20.
He should have applied that same logic to
Young dude.
his baby mama.
He beat the piss out of this girl, by the way.
And-
She's got to go fund me to pay for her medical bills.
Where are all the feminists in that aspect?
Well, they're coming out. I mean, they're talking about this. They're like, don't lionize this guy just because he got killed. By the way, sad day for rap for our Pittsburgh listeners because Jimmy Wopo got shot and killed too. He was coming up. We get right there in the Hill District.
I feel like rap beefs are making a comeback.
It's like the early 90s up in this piece.
Yeah.
Huh, what's going on?
Where's
Except
East Coast,
they're all
West Coast war?
emotional rappers instead of hardcore gangster rappers.
It's turning into East Bank, West Bank.
That's right.
But that XXX Tentacion, by the way, he had a song and a video that went with it last year, maybe the year before. It's called Look at Me. That video should have gotten the attention that all that This Is America, Childish
really?
Gambino, but it's
Was
a
it
great
something along
video.
those lines?
Yes. But people weren't really paying attention to it because, I'm sorry, they weren't paying XXX Attention to it because this guy wasn't that big.
I'm really obsessed with that Childish Gambino song, the This Is America song. I like the song and I like the video.
We're going to see him in the fall.
Dude, he's so cool.
Yeah.
I like his music. I
Well-
like what he stands for.
I do too. He's a very creative guy. I do think that he gets more attention as Childish Gambino because he's Donald Glover. I think he's kind of.
I think they feed each other. I
Yeah.
think he probably gets gigs because he's Childish Gambino for Donald Glover work, and he probably gets Childish Gambino work by being Donald Glover. I think
Yeah.
they kind of work hand in hand. Like, I mean,
And there's also been quite a bit of evolution in both of his careers because
For
he started
sure.
off as like a silly sketch actor, then he started doing
More serious
Childish
stuff.
Gambino stuff, and that was kind of silly at first too. And both of his things have evolved to the point where now he is a true Renaissance man.
Yeah, I saw him in concert. When he came to the Wolstein Center, it was a good show. A lot of people, I don't know, they just received him well. It wasn't a packed house though, not at that time.
You saw him on his glow up.
when's he coming here?
No, we're going to see him in New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That'll be sweet.
Yeah, so XXX Tentacion is no more. But again, there were like punk flavors in what he did. So he was like, he was always talking about how he loved Kurt Cobain. So some of those kids kind of got turned on to him. But yeah, I was texting with my son and he's like,
Did he text you first about it?
way
or-
bummed. No, I texted him.
And he didn't know?
No, he did.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, oh man. He goes, he was no saint, but he was a really talented guy. And I go, well, I thought of you. Rip XXX.
Yeah,
well, you
I don't
texted
care how
that.
talented he was. He was kind of garbage.
Well, but this is what we talk about all the time with Pound Cake. You separate the art from the man. R. Kelly's peeing on people. Nobody's giving this guy any
See,
problems.
and I can't. I'm not able to separate the art from the person.
And by the way, most people didn't even know this guy was doing that because they'd never heard of him before.
Right,
so like all the information comes at once. They go, oh, he's dead. And people go, oh, and they go, but he beat the piss out of his baby mama.
He's dead and he beat someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned everything I knew about this kid yesterday.
That's how strong his game was. He beat her after he died.
Wow.
Yeah. Somebody had a Santeria shrine, I imagine.
Keep that rigor mortis hand strong.
Yeah. So some people are saying that it was a robbery. Other people are saying that it was, I don't know.
It was a hit or something.
But what a if it was a robbery, imagine you found out that you killed a rapper that like a lot of people knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Jimmy Wopo killed in Pittsburgh, and
have they caught...
on Juneteenth, no less. Why aren't we all celebrating Juneteenth?
Do they have suspects in either of the cases, or no?
They suspect that these guys died from gunshot wounds. Bill.
No, like
I'm sorry, what?
Do they have a suspect, like the person of interest, someone that could have committed the crime?
I think there was another rapper that was down the street at a chicken joint, and fans were like drawing the connection there. I don't know if they formally charged that guy, but
oh yeah, Erica, because every rapper loves chicken, don't they?
No, just this one.
I see what you're saying. Every rapper loves chicken.
Celebrating Juneteenth.
With chicken?
Early?
I'm celebrating by being nice to Pound Cake today.
Oh, that's so nice. But Pound Cake doesn't celebrate Juneteenth.
He should.
You should. The entire country should.
Exactly. It
That's
should
right.
be a national holiday.
Yes, it should.
I'll be down for that.
They should allow black people to not work on Juneteenth, to take the day off.
Open up a can of worms there, baby.
White people should have to work for free.
Indentured servitude for 24 hours.
We don't get the day off. We just don't get paid for today.
It's like a nonviolent purge. Right. So listen, man. Rip Tentacion, rip Lil Peep always, rip Yams. These guys, they just keep
rip Lil Xan. He dead yet?
Lil Xan's still alive.
Oh, okay.
Post Malone, as of right now, is still alive. That guy ain't gonna last long. I hope these guys, by the way, are thinking ahead and donating their face tattoos to science. Yes, Pound Cake.
I was just gonna say I saw there was like a thread on Twitter. It was like it had Post Malone's picture and it said fan vomits on Post Malone post show because of how he smelled, and then
he looks like he smells really badly. Yeah.
Hard pass.
Yep. He's got like that rum spring a haircut.
Yeah.
And you can call it that.
Can you imagine he dies, he donates his organs and tissue to science or just to someone.
A braid.
And and someone needs a skin graft and you get Post Malone's face always tired face tattoo.
Always tired.
Yeah.
You get that on your arm or something.
I see that there's just some things that money does not make you look good. Like if you are an ugly person, you're still an ugly person. And I don't know how these women just like, all right, he's rich, I'm just gonna screw him because he's Post Malone. Like, how do you get aroused by that?
Don't you
not attractive.
think people are a little bit more attractive when they have money?
No, Post Malone's not cute. Lil Wayne's
I'm
not
not
cute.
saying
No, Post Malone looks like he works at a GameStop, and if you go in there and you see him working, you're like, I don't need to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need that game that badly.
He's the guy you don't ask for help.
I'm talking about
Target.
If you're an attractive person, money elevates that. Like you dress nice, you have money
No, but
to spend
have you
on
ever met a guy before that you found a little bit more attractive because he had some money and he dressed well?
No, that was because he already was attractive. He just needed, a little sprucing up a bit. I
have to be nice to you today, so I won't judge you about that.
I'm with Pound Cake. A person's money would not make them more attractive. Visually, I think he's talking
I'm
visually.
not saying me personally, but I'm like, I don't think that, but people think that. If
Oh,
someone
sure.
has money, then they become more attractive to
No.
them.
That's
But
why,
also-
that's why hot young girls are dating fat Russian oligarchs.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Or presidents.
It's how you carry yourself. You're talking about like the swagger that someone has. I'm talking about.
With him, it's his music, it's the money, it's all these different things.
But you're not having sex with any of that. You're having sex with that blob.
Right,
Post
but they
Malone.
get excited.
That
They're not as focused on his appearance as who
And
he is a
looks
person.
are not
honestly,
everything. They really are not everything.
They're a lot.
Like Hugh Hefner.
There's some.
Yeah, but those girls were
I'm saying if they
weren't
did
banging
though.
him in a long time.
If they did though.
Post-coital Malone is what some of those girls are looking for. By the way, Trippy Red people are pointing out the XXX Tentacion guy there.
Yeah.
I played you that little clip. Pride of Canton, Ohio.
Oh, look at that.
Just got out of the joint Monday on his 19th birthday.
Is he the pride of Canton, Ohio, then?
Yeah.
Or the pariah?
He was arrested for allegedly hitting a woman in the back of her head with a gun.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a gem.
Yeah. So he's 19 years old as of a couple days ago, and Good for him.
I'm very out of the loop in the rap game, and I should be very disappointed in myself, but I'm
Well,
not.
no, I mean, knowing these things are not going to change your life, but, you know. But listen, Trippie Redd, you keep those eyes in the back of your head, son. Keep your head on a swivel. Who knows? This might not be some random thing.
Could be a hit.
Right. Now that your boy is XXX expired, you got to be careful.
Too soon, bro.
Pardon me?
No, I don't even know who he is. Not too soon.
Yeah, this guy, he don't even care.
But how do you So how do you prepare for something like that? Like, because most people would be like, well, why doesn't he have a bodyguard if the block is too hot for him? Like, how do you know when someone's gonna shoot you? If he especially
when the bullets start, you hear the gun sounds.
But it's too late by then. He pulled up on a motorbike and was like, vroom, click, click, and then like.
What was the
I feel like I was there. They pull up.
You know that classic motorcycle sound.
You know, classic rap murder.
Probably had a silencer on or something, and they just drove away.
I hope if I hope every rapper gets murdered and that it has that sound in the background.
That's a rap. That's a rapper who wants to take a rival out, but he can't afford a gun, so he just has a straw with a wadded up piece of paper in it. He's shooting little spitballs at him. Yeah. Somebody with a spud gun out there. Hey, Woody.
Alan.
Yes, sir.
How's your day, brother?
So far, so good. You know, Woody, we announced that starting Monday, we're starting the show at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock?
I'll be working. Yeah, big announcement. Yep.
Yeah, how does that work for your schedule?
Anyway, I've got a really
okay.
bizarre question.
You got what?
I've got a really, really bizarre question. You guys are just talking about indentured servitude just for a quick second, and slavery and this and that. You know, this might sound completely bat crap crazy, but my question is, you know, I've asked a couple different people, this question. You know, weren't there like thousands and thousands and probably tens and tens of thousands of Native Americans in this country when we conquered it? And why weren't they? Why didn't they become slaves for us to work for us? Why do we have to
Well, because it's hard to get murdered people to be slaves for you. You mean why didn't they enslave the Native Americans?
You know, why did the Native Americans agree to be slaves?
Why didn't they agree to be slaves?
We will agree to be slaves.
I don't think black people agreed to be. They weren't like, all right, we'll be slaves now.
Well, no. I mean, the question is like, you know, all the people that are already in this country, did they just say, well, we're just not going to do it, so kill us? And the people that were transported, you know, obviously, you know, on the slave ships from Africa, they did agree to do it. Obviously, or else they'd be killed. You know what I'm going with this? Probably not.
I don't know. I don't know that they ever got the option. I think we came over here and started. I say we. I mean, of course, the Native American, my people.
Mm-hmm. You're not even remotely Native American.
Please, Erica, how dare you? Please.
I've had a different.
I spit into a tube. All right. What do you want?
I've had a couple different answers from a couple different camps on this because, you know, I was told some people have told me that the Native Americans just simply wouldn't do it. They just simply would not work for the man.
So are you insinuating that it's black people's fault that they were enslaved?
No, I think he's just separating the two.
All.
I mean.
All right, Kanye.
But no, what I'm saying is like, you know, with all the population that was here already, why wouldn't we just like convert them into slaves without importing them? That's my question, I guess.
Well, I mean, there were other countries that were here. It wasn't just white people. There were other countries that I think were enslaving Native Americans.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mostly European, you know, white Caucasian people.
Spanish.
But I mean, doesn't it strike you funny that, you know, with the vast amount of people that were already here, you know, they just said, hey, we're not going to do it. You know,
there were plenty of enslaved Native Americans. Because by the time they started shipping people over from Africa, they had to separate them into two groups of people. They were calling them cannibal Negroes and things like that. So they were a bit. But again, Juneteenth is because whenever the slavery ended, you know, they weren't tweeting it out, so word didn't get nationwide all that quickly. So by the time it got to Texas, there were still slaves after the Emancipation Proclamation.
It would suck
so
to
that's
be the last one to know that slavery was abolished.
that's what Juneteenth is.
Yeah.
June 19th, when they rode into, when General so-and-so rode into Texas and told everybody,
Yeah,
hey, you don't have to do this anymore. Yeah, I don't know.
But you know what I mean? I mean that I've had different people answer different ways, but it's like with all the people that are already here that we were conquering, for lack of a better word. Why don't they say, hey, you're our slaves now, but why do we have to import so many?
I don't know.
And I'm not being
No, I know. I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a book that could give you a chapter and verse on that, Woody. Okay. All right. Thank you, Woody. Oh, these long pauses. I don't know if he just fell off a roof as he's talking to me, or
He's pondering.
He's pondering. I guess so. All right. I'm gonna have ministry tickets for you. Coming back, they are set to do the Agora Friday, November 30th. AgoraCleveland.com for the info. If you need to get a hold of us, you can text 35192 or get to us live streams there too at AlanCockShow.com.
After 50 years, WMMS has reached the required number of AC/DC songs a rock station must play. So, beginning Monday, the Alan Cox Show can now start 1 hour earlier at 2 o'clock. The Buzzard.
Whatsoever.
The listeners want two things. They want you two to fight. They want Mary and Erica to hate each other, and they want Mary and I to date.
And neither
they
of
want
those
Bill
things
and
are
I
ever
to
going to
kiss.
happen.
Even though Mary dreams about it, it's not going to happen.
Oh my God, we're going to bring this up. I should have never told you that. I had a
Hey, Erica dreams about Jeffrey LaRoque,
Yeah.
so I think you're all on the same page.
And she told the story, so
And I regret it.
I had a dream about Bill, and I texted him. I was like, "Oh no, I had this dream about you. It was the worst." And it was so gross.
It was so gross.
I can't even hold her water.
It was so gross.
It was so gross.
Oh my God.
It was.
That's not what you want to hear, Bill.
Well, it's because in her dream, there were certain things that were happening that are not actual factors in a real life situation.
Okay.
He had a gross D.
I believe she said I had a whole bunch of moles.
A whole bunch of moles all over it.
Yeah, which is not how it looks.
I texted him the next day. I was like, dude, I'm so disturbed right now. Like, this is... And we hooked up at the station in, like, a closet.
Right, but
And-
let me be just very clear here, Bill, and you know this. I'm going to tell you this. The details of this dream come secondary to the fact that she was having the dream in the first place.
Okay,
all right?
but it wasn't
Her
a
brain
pleasant
was
experience.
Her brain was filling in details.
Well, finish the story.
Her brain was filling in these details as a way to protect her subconscious from her actual feelings.
That is exactly what Bill said. He's like, do you think that this happens that way? It just kind of puts to rest any feelings that we could date. And I'm like, no. I told him it was really bony. He said, I don't even want to talk about it. It's so gross.
It looked like a bony old man's finger.
No,
but
I
like,
said it looked like the hand of a man who had been working for 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And then she sent
It was
me
a calloused digit.
Chris
Yeah,
Elliott's
Lord.
finger, like his weird
bunions.
hand in Scary Movie 2. Remember that?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it was gross.
What, like
Take
the
my
tip
strong,
lit up
my
or what?
strong hand, that guy. It was
Oh.
just so gross, and I was so uncomfortable about
But
it.
tell him what you did.
In the dream,
This
I still...
is how much game I have.
He doesn't have any game. I
In
felt
Mary's
bad.
dream, I had some game because even though I had this weird moly old man finger D, you still did one thing.
Yeah, and then he was like, when we were done, he was like, I'm late for the show, and just left me in a closet.
She gave me some lettuce, and I'm like, well, I gotta go.
And I was naked in a closet, and I couldn't leave because there was like salespeople walking around and stuff, and it was just... It was such a weird dream, and I texted him. I was like, I'm so uncomfortable right now, but it was really gross.
I can relate to having a subconscious that's super screwed up.
Yeah,
having a sex dream about Jeffrey, like, I don't know where that comes from.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
It's a dark place in my mind.
Or anyone that you work with or know, because the next time you see them, you feel very weird,
Yeah.
even though they don't know what's going on.
Right.
And, you do... If you try to inject some levity into it, but hey, I had a dream about you last night. But
Yeah.
you can't do that because they'll go, oh, what was it? And you're not
Yeah.
going to tell them. I mean, obviously, Mary and Bill know each other to do that. But, if you have a random dream about, let's say, Jeffrey LaRoque, or, a
I had a
sales...
sex dream about pound cake, too.
A salesperson. So basically, you're having sex dreams about everybody you come in contact with.
I think it's just, I think it's
Yeah.
proximity. I don't know.
You've never had one about me or Bill?
That she's
No.
told us
You
about.
don't want one with Bill. They're not great.
I was going to say, the reviews are in with Mary.
Yeah,
so.
I haven't had one about Alan or Bill.
What did I do in this dream?
I told you. You didn't do anything.
Just like real life.
Did you hear how annoyed she was? You didn't even give me any.
Yeah, I'm like pissed. Come on.
That's great.
We got to know what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know why those dreams happen, but they're very disturbing, and they should stop.
Dude, for real. I had texted him like that morning. I was like, "Oh, dude, this is woof."
And what's your reaction, Bill?
I thought it was
He
hilarious.
was like, I still pulled it off.
He's proud of himself.
I'm glad that Mary's coping with the feelings that she has.
Oh, please.
And understanding that it's not going to happen between us, and so she had to put her subconscious had to step in and make sure that
put any of it
it's
to
not,
rest.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it.
It was protecting.
Hey, we gotta do a new YouTube thing.
No,
Yeah,
no,
just do it.
No,
just do it. No. Just say subscribe and share. Do it.
Well, in the span of fewer than 12 hours, Roseanne Barr lost her show on ABC, which was already renewed for season 2. It opened to massive ratings, but even when it kind of fell back to earth, it was still huge ratings. I mean, the finale was 10 million people, which in 2018 is a lot of people watching a show.
People were very nostalgic for that show. Very nostalgic for that show.
And it was really funny. It was a good show.
I didn't watch the new
one was
iteration,
good.
But
yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was good. But again, this is a classic case of you can't have it both ways. So Roseanne goes on some tweet storm this morning, and the whole kind of no secret at all was that the family in this iteration, they were going to be Trump people, and that the hook of the Roseanne show was that they were going to try to represent both sides, right? Her sister was a classic, they made fun of her for being a lib snowflake or whatever, and the Connor family, they were, blue-collar Trump types, whatever. But Roseanne herself has always been a weird kind of... Somehow she turned into like some hard right type of person and again, this is a Jewish woman, so whenever she was tweeting like anti-Semitic stuff, I never understood that, but okay. And she was tweeting this morning about George Soros and Chelsea Clinton married his nephew, which is not true, and all this weird crap. And then she tweets that Valerie Jarrett, who was one of Obama's former advisors, and I think a friend from back in Chicago, Roseanne tweeted that Valerie Jarrett was what you got if the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby. Always a great move to pull out the monkey card when you're talking about a black woman. And, of course, people went nuts over this. And the prevailing wisdom at ABC, which aired the Roseanne show, was always, well, you got to kind of let Roseanne be Roseanne, kind of echoing the whole way that people handle Trump with kid gloves. You got to let Trump
She's
be
a
Trump.
kook,
You got to let Roseanne be Roseanne.
Ku Klux Klan, I believe is what you're trying to say.
That's the truncated version.
That's
of it.
right.
A kook, a kookly. And then ABC after this got so much heat and obviously became the story of the day that it became pretty clear that they were going to have to do something. And I don't know how. Then Wanda Sykes immediately announced that she was leaving the show before ABC decided to cancel it. She's one of the producers. A lot of great names on this show.
They should have fired her and then kept the show going.
Roseanne?
Yeah. And
like killed her off or something.
Yeah, get like a new Roseanne. Recast her. Like they did with 2.5 Men.
Her husband gets remarried.
The Hogan family brings Sandy Duncan in there with her glass eye. So Wanda Sykes, who was a producer and a writer on the show, before the whole thing fell apart, said that she just tweeted, "I will not be returning to the show." But Whitney Cummings was a big writer on this. Norm Macdonald was a producer on it. Morgan Murphy, who's very funny. I don't know how many people know her, but she's very funny. So a lot of good people associated with the show. And I was thinking all the other people around Roseanne who work on this show and have to really bob and weave every time she does something like
It's
this.
just so selfish. Like, just a tweet like that, you know the climate that we're in. And it's just, when you don't think about what you type, it's just so selfish, because there are people that their livelihood is based around this show.
That
like,
DJ kid finally got back on television.
Yeah.
The blonde Becky finally got back on television.
Sad.
They were set for another season. So then Roseanne tweets an apology that she was joking and it was in poor taste and blah, blah, blah. People weren't really having that because this is not her first time doing something like this.
And it didn't seem like a joke. It seemed more like...
Elk and Elk at 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Watch out for a disabled vehicle Interbelt South at Chester Avenue. You're heavy from Lakeside Avenue. Slow traffic inbound East Shoreway between Aviation High School and Dead Man's Curve. 480 westbound off the pace from Warrensville Center to Broadway. 271 northbound is heavy from the 40-14 split to Rockside. And 480 eastbound is heavy between Lee and Warrensville Center Road. I'm John Crawford in the Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by Northern Ohio Honda dealers. Start your summer adventure in a brand new Honda. Hurry into your local Northern Ohio Honda dealer for great deals across the entire Honda lineup. Or visit them online at northernohiohondadealers.com.
Alexa, play WMMS on iHeartRadio.
Getting your 100.7 WMMS from iHeartRadio.
Wherever you are, so are we. Cleveland's rock station 100.7 WMMS.
We're giving stuff away with the Alan Cox Show. Yeah, we're giving stuff away.
All right, the boys in ministry are back in Cleveland this fall, along with Carpenter Brute and Igor. Going to be a good show. November 30th, it's a Friday night, goes down at the world-famous Agora Theater. AgoraCleveland.com has got the info for you. I'll see you there. 2 from ministry, caller 13, that's yours, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Another ringing endorsement
You're an idiot, your show sucks, and you've proven that many times.
for the Alan Cox Show.
You're so stupid.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Three 35192, you want to text? I'll be talking to Gavin Rossdale of Bush in about 10 minutes. We'll be checking in from London. Bush is part of the extravaganza going down at the Mansfield Reformatory in July. The inaugural Incarceration Festival is the 13th, 14th, and 15th. With Black Label Society and Rise Against. Bush is going to headline that second night on July 14th. So we'll catch up with Gavin Rossdale shortly. Got some prison mail in a bit. We haven't had prison mail in a long, long time.
It's been a sec.
Yep. So we each got individual pieces of prison mail, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So we will dig into that in a bit. Tribe game tonight. Second of 3 or 4 against the White Sox. Indians 6-2 last night. Trevor Bauer had an amazing game at the expense of my White Sox. Tonight, 7:10 is the first pitch. So 6:37 or so is when your pregame will begin. Only 3 more days where the Tribe games will affect us, as we'll be starting the show earlier come Monday. We announced at the top of the show today. The show will start at 2 o'clock beginning Monday. It's 2 to 6, by the way. Some people are asking if it's still on until 7. No. The point of the move was so that we wouldn't be messing around with Indians pre-games and Cavs games and all that.
Right.
It's going to be a 4-hour show every day. So starting Monday, we will be here live at 2. And I hope you will be too. Hey, Adam.
Hey, what's up, Alan?
What's going on?
Nothing, just driving home from work. Okay, so the rumor is that Drake actually set out a hit on this rapper. Yeah, he hired this guy this rapper named Soldier Kid to shoot act.
Why would anyone know this?
Wait, there's a rapper named Soldier Kid. There's Soldier Boy and Soldier Kid. I hate rap names. I hate
No, not
rap
Soldier.
names.
This guy sold your kid.
Sold your kid.
Uh-huh.
There's another one named Soldier JoJo. I think he hangs out with Soldier Kid. But anyway,
As you do.
Yeah. Just the rumor is that Drake put this hit out on X because I guess they were beefing a while ago.
Why would Drake care?
Isn't there a rapper named Squid Nanny or something? I love rap names, frankly. I can't get enough of them.
I hate the repetition. I hate all the lils. I hate when it's just another version of someone else's name. Like, that's so annoying to me. Like, Ice Cube and Ice T, that's about where it needs to end. And there was 2 Dr. Dre's for a while. It's annoying.
Dre Lover. Bill, how do you feel about Lil Cashew Tooth?
I don't really care for him.
Oh!
I don't really care for Lil Cashew Tooth. He said some things about the Browns earlier that really had me.
That's what it was?
Yeah, it really got
That was his alter ego. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was alter ego.
That's right.
Not my favorite.
Alan, what about those 405 games? We don't air those anyway.
Yeah.
Those have never been an issue for us.
We do those like the spring training games, like once a year.
Spring training games,
Yeah,
yes.
like that's like once a year though.
So yeah, in April we might be
There might
doing
be
a power hour or something.
A 2-hour power hour.
Yeah.
Power hours.
Hey, Nick.
What's going on?
How are you?
Doing good. Hoping to shed some light on the Indian slaves topic.
Hi-oh.
Oh,
lay it on me.
Well, basically, there was a Catholic priest. This isn't your typical joke, but he kind of sped up the slave trade.
Actually, a typical joke does start with "there was a Catholic priest."
Yeah. I'm Catholic, so this is our bad. But he kind of, he figured out that the Indian slaves were running away. They knew the terrain better than a lot of the, Spanish who were coming over and starting up the slave trade. And he said, "Hey, bring over the Africans. They don't know what's going on."
So the Native Americans couldn't even catch them, is what you're saying?
Well,
they caught some.
Run away, yeah. You take someone from Africa, put them on a boat, and then bring them all the way here. Half of them die.
Right.
So you're a little, disoriented. And now, where are you going to go?
Plus, Native Americans, they had home field advantage. They had families and they had tribes, literally, and weapons to fight other tribes. So they were better equipped, I would imagine. But
yeah, it's not because of like drinking or gambling or any of the things we think of now. It's basically just due to terrain.
Terrain. All right. Is there any rapper named Lil Terrain that you know of? Just before I let you go.
Most likely.
Nice tie-in. All right.
Most likely.
The one guy. Thank you, Nick. One guy is selling your kid, and the other one's Lil Terrain. Yeah. Okay.
XXX Terrain.
XXX Tentacion. Yeah. I know people are angry with me talking about that, but
why? Because they don't want him to rest in peace.
No, because they don't care.
Oh.
And I go, well, this show's about what I care about, not what you care about. I can't make it any clearer.
It's still in the news.
If something interests me, I'll talk about
it. It was trending on Twitter all night last night.
I guess.
Which is why I was like, Google XXX Tentacion.
Tentacion. I like what Pound Cake called him.
What did he say?
Tenication.
He's not alone, man. I mean,
Tenication.
Yeah.
Tenication. I'm
Tenication.
with you. Tenication.
You know what, Pound Cake? You're going to feel good. XXX Tenication, alive and well. He just dropped a mixtape last week.
It's actually 30 Tenication.
I'm sorry.
Tentication is when you go to Nelson's Ledges as your vacation for the year.
We're going on a tentication, Ma. Yeah. So I told you a couple of days ago about that grandmother who strangled the bobcat with her bare hands.
Yes.
Dee Dee Phillips. Well, again, grandmother makes sound like she's 80. This is America, so she's a 46-year-old grandmother. She's my age, for Christ's sake. But still, I don't care how old you are. A lot of 18-year-olds couldn't take down a bobcat. She said she didn't really have any choice.
My first thought was not today. I wasn't dying today.
Not today,
So
Satan.
you had just put the sticker on? I just put the sticker on. The cat is right there. As soon as it took that first step, I was in trouble and I knew it. When it got to that pole, it leaped on me. I grabbed him by the shoulders and pushed him back away from me. And I took it down right here. And from that point on, it was just me trying to fight for my life.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
Did she say she gave the bobcat a reach around?
What'd you say?
Is that what she said? It's not like she said that she gave the bobcat a reach around.
I didn't hear
That's
that.
not strangling its neck to death.
Any way to get it to pass out.
Yes.
Maybe
Cutting off the blood flow to its groin.
She pressured it. She got it to finish, and then it just took a nap.
Oh, no.
I stabbed it to death.
Oh, it fell right on her.
I grabbed him by the shoulders.
She
and
beat it
pushed
to
him
death
back,
one way or another.
back away from me. And I took it down right here. And from that point on, it was just me trying to fight for my life.
Oh, me trying to fight for my life. I thought she said from that point on.
I was like, I didn't hear
reached
reach around.
I gave him a reach around, and I'll tell you what, I was a darn mess when I woke up, but at least I was alive.
Brainstorm, green needle, reach around.
Brainstorm,
whatever it
green
was,
needle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if you are, let's say you're in high school, right? And you've been playing an instrument for a couple of years, and you're kind of teaching yourself, but you want to rock, right? You don't really want to take the time. You want to maybe go down that Johnny Rotten path, right? You want to go down the Flamin' Lips path. You start out not even knowing what the hell to do with your instruments. You get some of your buddies. One of them plays the drums. And you start practicing in the garage. And you're getting good. And you're going to book some gigs. But, there's a problem. You don't have a name. Bobcat Reach Around. That is a great band name, all right? That's a freebie.
I think that was Bush's first band name.
Well, I'm going to ask him about that. That was her first album, Bobcat Reach Around.
Works for any genre, too.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. Hey, welcome to Nighttown, everybody. Tonight you're going to hear the exploratory jazz sounds of Bobcat Reach Around. Welcome to the East Side, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, all right, whatever. I got some sperm news, but I'm going to have to wait for Gavin Rossdale here. You know, one of the... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if anybody hasn't signed the petition yet, you can go to change.org, search for... what is the release the Akron firefighters porn, or you can go to my Twitter at Bill Squire.
Now, how many people have signed it? I've signed it.
We're up to 84, and that's what I was telling Erica about in the break. Is
this making you angry?
It's not making me angry. I'm like discouraged.
Why?
Because I want more support for this. I want people to be in on the joke, and it doesn't. It just looks pathetic right now.
That's the fun part.
No, I want it to be like, I want it to go viral. I want it to be like a ton of people sign up for this so that news stations have to report on it.
It may. No, I get you. It may, but it's a couple hours old. Don't get discouraged.
Life is maximum effort, minimal payoff.
Yeah, I know.
It really is.
And even this wasn't that much effort.
No, it wasn't that much effort. That's why I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, but I just wanted to see more people, because people are going to it. Like, I see the clicks. The clicks are there.
They're just not signing.
They're just not signing it. And I get it, because it says porn in it. It might show up on your Facebook. You're trying to protect yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Your job's not that important.
The
this
SEO
is important.
is popping it up.
Yeah.
All right.
This is what's important right now.
All right, well, get to that. Enjoyment. Get to the change.org petition that Bill set up, the demands that we see as taxpayers. Granted, none of us live in Akron, not Akron taxpayers, but in the larger sense, that we demand to see the Akron Firehouse porno.
Right.
Those two.
And again, I know the links are out there. That's not what it's about.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
The band Bush, of course, is going to be doing night 2 of the Inkcarceration Festival that places it squarely out in Mansfield on July the 14th. Gavin Rossdale is on holiday with his family in London, but still kind enough to check in. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
You know the old phrase, may you live in interesting times?
Yeah.
You seem to be living in very interesting times, Gavin.
As we all are, but for sure. I mean, it's an incredible gift to be alive.
I was watching video of the Atlantic City show on Saturday night.
How'd it go?
Well, you brought a bunch of people up on stage, and it kind of looked like it got away from everybody.
Oh, right. Oh, that night. Oh,
yeah.
Showbiz. You know what I mean? You gotta put your head out, and sometimes it gets snapped.
It's one of those things that seems like it would be a lot of fun. I couldn't blame anybody for going, hey, let's get some people up here. You know, you see the Foo Fighters and Green Day.
It was meant to be a load of fun.
Yeah.
And it was still pretty fun. It was fun for my tech, because he's an ex-Marine, so he needed like just 1 cent whiff of danger, and he basically should be at the World Cup playing for America, because the way that Ace Bergman, former Marine, took this guy out. He saved him in the top right corner.
Gavin brings a bunch. For people who haven't seen the video, brings some people on stage. Some drunk dude gets in front, swinging his arms. You must have, like you said, you must have some World Cup strikers on your security team, because they whisk the guy away. Then some girl jumps on the mic, and you handled it very well. You're clearly a guy. You've been around the block a couple of times for a long time.
Come around the block a couple of times for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I just needed to. The situation was the stage really close to the audience, so I thought it was a great opportunity to bring everybody up on stage. They have a party on stage, and it just didn't quite work out properly. That's all. But I've done it so many times where it's been amazing. The funny part is, there's the one thing that kind of went wrong, a little bit of controversy. My mum knew about it. My mum's like, "Ooh, who got thrown off the stage then?" I was like, doesn't hear about anything I do to be on tour. I can be on tour 300 days a year. She hears one drunk dude tries to sing, and she hears about the show.
Now, was that because she was worried about you, or that was just like a story that hit her like it would hit anybody else?
Hit like everybody else.
Yeah.
Laughing at it. What the hell?
Right. How often do you get to see Mom? Is she in London? Where is she?
She's in London, yeah.
Are your kids teenagers yet?
Not quite, but they act like it.
I'll tell you what, I was thinking about this because I have a couple of teenagers and then I have a 2-year-old. So I got it coming out of both ends. But, teenagers are kind of the great equalizer, really, because whether you're Gavin Rossdale or whether you're me, they get to a certain point where they don't care what Dad does or says anymore.
I haven't quite reached that point, but I can smell it.
It's just around the corner. Yeah.
Just around.
Right. I think people think that, rock stars who have kids, that those kids are constantly in awe of them, like we would be. But they're really not, are they? You're just dad, like any other dad would be.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible if I was the singer from Bush. What time is the singer from Bush coming home?
Yeah, right. Mr. Rossdale, can we go for lunch? Yeah, you wouldn't want that. So I'll tell you what, you wouldn't recall, but the last time I spoke to you was a long time ago. It was in an Institute show. And and I was worried at the time that might have been the end of Bush. But Institute didn't last very long. Bush came back round. And are you as happy now as you've ever been with the band?
Yeah, for sure. I wish that I'd never made any diversions away, and the Institute record had been a Bush record, and the solo record had been a Bush record, so I would prefer to have not done any other records, but that's how we did it, and it's an incredible time, and we're very inspired and energized by what we're doing, and the shows have been great, and it's going to be a really busy summer, and then we go make a new record, so it's a good time to be in Bush.
That's interesting to me because a lot of people, when they put some time in with their band, they do want to go off and do different things. And you say that you kind of wish it had been a straight line of Bush the whole way through. Is that just because you lost some friends along the way, or what?
Because I think that the Institute record is too good, and it should have been a Bush record.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, you're right. It is good.
So I lost that thing, and it's just more that if you're a singer in a big band, people don't want to hear your solo records.
I see.
They just don't want it. They just don't. I don't care what anyone says. And I did the solo record because the band still didn't want to work at that point. So I didn't do it, I've got to do the solo record. They didn't want to do a record. So I was like, should I do that? What I should have done is just done a Bush record right away with Chris and Corey.
Sure.
But there you go. You know what I mean? There you go. That's how it goes. We can't we can iron everything out in retrospect. But I'm enjoying it, doing it now, and I think that to have consistent music and consistently be playing is going to bode well for us over the next 5 years,
In the early days of Bush, I remember you guys and maybe Stone Temple Pilots at the time were two bands that I thought got an inordinate amount of criticism, and I wasn't sure why. And so for both bands, albeit in different forms, but for both bands to still be around and doing good stuff makes me happy.
Yeah, that new STP record's great.
It's fantastic, yeah. You guys are going to be through here to play that the second night of the Incarceration Festival. That's going to put you on stage July 14th with about 29 other amazing bands. So I'm excited for that show. I know you're in London. I appreciate you taking some time out, and best of luck with everything coming up.
All right, thanks, buddy. All the best.
There's Gavin Rossdale. He's a good bloke. Bush coming through for that incarceration. By the way, if you can't make it out to Mansfield for that, I mentioned Stone Temple Pilots, kind of coincidentally, but Bush and STP and the Cult are going out in the Revolution 3 tour. So if you miss them at incarceration and want to see them, I think they're playing Dayton in July or something, but they're headlining with the Cult and Stone Temple Pilots later in the summer. Let me break here. If you want to text 35192, I'm going to have Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie tickets for you in a bit. And get to us a live stream at AlanCoxShow.com.
The early bird catches the cocks. Beginning Monday, you can catch the Alan Cox Show 1 hour earlier. Afternoons at 2 on 100.7 WMMS.
On W. Did you see the high school valedictorian in Kentucky who trolled the audience there?
Is this the one that stood from outside?
Oh. No.
Oh.
High school valedictorian in Kentucky gave a speech on Sunday, and he gave a quote. Everybody cheered. Well, I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just get involved. Fight for your seat at the table. Better yet, fight for a seat at the head of the table. Donald J. Trump. I'm kidding. That was Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Someone booed.
Within the span of
love
2
it.
seconds, they were clapping. Does that sound like anything Trump would ever say, by the way? If
Yeah.
you were really paying attention, don't fight for your seat. Fight for the head of the table. Fight for your seat at the head of the table, whatever he said. Donald J. Trump, woo! And they're like, no, it was Obama actually said that. Woo!
Well, that's why they were cheering. They were like, wow, he said something articulate. Yes, cheer.
They don't like that guy because he's articulate. They
But
like
they
him
were-
because he's not.
Yeah, but I think saying something like that, fight for the seat at the head of the table, that sounds kind of Trump-like.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it?
To say the fight for the most important spot, yeah.
Well, no,
That's
because the
guy
rest
he
of it is like fight for what's right or something.
Well,
like
yeah,
that,
but that little bit of it sounds
Let's
Trump-like.
be honest, though. No one was analyzing the quote and going, yeah, that's what Trump said. They didn't even pay attention to the quote. They heard Trump's name and started
clapping.
cheering.
Yeah. And then in half a second later, they're like,
Yeah,
whoops.
exactly.
That's just how white folks will do you.
That's
Very
right.
funny. Very funny that he did that, though.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's funny.
The old switcheroo.
The old switcheroo.
No, I read something that like a valedictorian wasn't allowed to like give their speech, so they grabbed a megaphone and went outside and gave the speech outside of the
Yeah, why
auditorium.
wasn't he allowed to? What was the reasoning behind
Oh
that?
God, I don't remember what it was. It was something stupid, like something he should have been able to give it. I don't remember what I read.
Because he was a gay valedictorian.
Oh, that's
So
what
they
it
were-
was.
he-
Christian school.
He wanted to give like a speech. Yeah, man, if a kid works hard enough to be at the very top of his class, let him say what he wants to say.
But they get real strict. Graduation time, you get all these articles, the schools not letting people walk, not letting people do their speeches, blah, 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 because it's the last thing the administration can hold over you.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
They've
they're
been
like,
putting the screws to you for 4
Yes.
years. They got to pretend like they have some power over you when
Yes.
you're like 1 foot out the door going to college.
I mean, I remember our high school graduation. There were all kinds of kids. They were going to try to turn them away because they wore spaghetti strap dresses underneath their cap and gown, mind you. Because there was one photo that a class photo that we took without the cap and gown on. And apparently, if you had, like, tiny straps on, you weren't going to be allowed to graduate. And
That's
people
so
were like,
stupid.
I'm not going to follow that. Like, why would I do that?
That's why more and more kids don't go to graduation.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not going. I don't care. Mail me my diploma.
And it was hot as balls, and it was outside. I'm like,
And it's
let the
4
girls
hours
wear
long
a spaghetti strap. Trust me, 2 more inches of strap on her shoulder is not going to make all that big of a difference.
And those polyester robes.
Yes,
They're not.
And they were ours were black.
Yeah.
I have never heard anyone have a good story about a graduation.
No.
I talk about this all the time. I didn't go to my graduation because I hadn't graduated yet.
Right.
But whenever people talk about their graduation, it's always, it was long, it was boring. The guy that wanted to give the speech either said something or wasn't allowed to say what he wanted, or he said something and people got mad. People were clapping the whole time. It seems like we got to come up with a new way to celebrate people graduating, because that is not getting it done.
Or just know that it's going to be a shrimp show, because you've got kids that have been in school for over a decade. This is their, for some of them, their final, day of school ever. it's gonna get a little crazy. And parents that didn't think their kid could do it are, of course, gonna bring the foghorn or whatever. I mean, just
so make it-
understand it's
so-
gonna be a little rowdy.
That's what they should do, is embrace the rowdiness and make
Yes.
it more of a party and less of this formal event where everyone's acting like, oh, we have to be classy, especially for high school graduations,
Man.
because you're just farting your way through that.
They don't want people Soldier Boy yewing across the stage, and I can understand that.
Soldier Boy, what?
Like you, like they get their diploma and they do
Yeah,
like
a couple
all
of
the
weeks
gang
ago,
signs.
there was some guy that took some heat because this school had a guy posted on stage for when like black students would dance or whatever. He'd grab them and move them over to get their diploma, or people were like, "Let these guys dance,
I know.
man." I
Who
mean,
cares? Honestly,
Because the graduations are already long enough. Like we don't need just get your diploma.
But just
do
keep
all the-
reading the names, whether Dipwad is dancing or whatever. Just keep reading the names.
listen, I would just go by statistics. Okay, there are more white kids graduating high school than black and Hispanic kids, right? That's not a controversial fact. It just is what it is. If you graduate high school and you want to dance across the stage, dance, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But just make
That's
sure,
what I'm saying.
Make sure you're going across the stage. Don't just sit there, because they will literally do like the hey, hey.
I know.
We don't need all that.
Like
Do
an
that-
end zone dance.
Yeah, do that in the lobby when you have your diploma in hand. And you
Yeah,
can
but
do
you
whatever you want.
do it on the stage. I think it should just be put everybody's diploma up on the stage and then make it be like, go find it.
free-for-all.
Just go
get
find
it.
it.
It's the
Go
Hunger
find your
Games.
Like
diploma.
there's people going up there. When I was up there, there was a couple people before me. They were Snapchatting across the stage. They were going like that. I'm like, okay, keep it moving, bro. Just keep it moving. I don't care.
Or how about this? Why don't they just completely remove actually physically handing you your diploma? Send that in the mail and just have a party.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why do we have to walk up one at a time and say, yes, this person?
Because people are so beholden to traditions
Why
that they
can't
can't
just
think of
post
anything
it up
new.
on a
Yeah.
wall? Here's all the graduates
And all you
this
need,
year.
you don't even need a physical diploma anymore. You just tag them on Instagram and be like, hey, see, there it is.
In college, my friend walked and that bitch didn't even graduate. Like she found out weeks later that she got like a D- and she needed a C to pass. So she had to do. She was making a big she did.
Well, you tell her I prefer a girl with D's over C's.
She did her hair flip and she was like, I'm cute. I got my diploma. I got my degree. And she walked past.
Degree.
She had to
Degree.
She had to do a summer course because she didn't graduate. I'm like,
Yeah.
see, showing off. She
That
just
happens
kept it
too,
modest.
like because they don't.
Hey, we gotta do a new YouTube thing.
No.
Yeah,
no,
just do it.
No.
Just do it.
No.
Just say subscribe and share. Do it.
In Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Anything's formal here.
Well, that's where we live.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Comfy?
Sorta.
Boy.
I did find, however, I showed you the picture. I found a chair
Yeah.
that it has a footrest and it leans all the way back, like you could fully lay down if you needed to. It seems a little less cumbersome than a couch in here.
Like for somebody who wants a recliner in their office.
Well, it's for midday office naps.
Of course.
Like what employer allows people to take a nap during the day?
Yeah, more and
than you
more.
think.
Here's the thing: if the company buys that chair for you, I want one too. I want one for my office.
I probably am just going to buy it myself. I'm just trying
Do you
not to
think
be
they'll
a
give us a
problem.
discount if we get two?
I don't know. It's from like Walmart. Do they offer discounts, bulk
Yes.
discounts there?
Maybe.
And does 2 chairs count as bulk?
But then are you gonna lay all the way back on it?
Just in the office.
Oh. Because then
Just in the office,
Then
yeah.
everyone laying in this room.
Not in this room, but in the office,
Yeah.
Just take a
Take
quick
a
little
siesta?
yeah. Just a quick little one.
A disco nap?
All right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Do a Costanza just under the desk. Got an
I've
alarm
thought about
there.
it before. I really there's been days when I've been very, very tired, and I thought about getting under the desk and I'm just like, nah, I'll tough it out.
Yeah, but we're on the air when naps would normally happen.
Exactly.
I've done that though. Like when I used to do Rover show, like I would just phone screen for him when they would be like out of town or something, and I would still have to do this show. I wouldn't.
I'd
why would
walk
I go
into the
home?
side studio and Pound Cake would be sleeping.
Oh, there were days when I was doing all 3 shows, and I was still doing the morning show in Detroit. I was doing this show, and I was doing those national fill-ins. So.
Call Elk and Elk at 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Watch for an accident 480 westbound after Broadway. You're slow from Warrensville Center Road. 480 eastbound off the pace between Lee and Warrensville Center. Interbelt South is heavy between Lakeside and Prospect Avenue. And the accident is cleared on 480 westbound at Northfield Road. I'm John Crawford in the Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by Walmart. Here's some exciting news for your commute home. Walmart's changing things up. Renovations at Cleveland are almost complete. With added services and a new look, your shopping experience will be refreshed and ready to wow you.
Giving stuff away.
I get you a couple of tickets to Wagner's Comedy and Magic Variety Show. This goes down the 29th of this month at Wagner's of Westlake, featuring Mike Head, Alan Cox Show Comedy Tour alum, and some other comedians as well. Tickets and info at wagnersofwestlake.com. If you want full details on it. A couple of tickets here for you. If you're caller 12, good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
From the Final Touch Construction Studios, this is the 50th anniversary of WMMS Buzzard Radio, an iHeart radio station. Ask Alexa to play WMMS on iHeart Radio.
Now back to the Alan Cox Show.
Tribe game tonight against the White Sox. They rolled over Chicago last night, 6-2. I think Trevor Bauer pitched like 7 scoreless innings or something. I don't know. He had a hell of a game. He's a mad scientist out there. So tonight, 7:10 is that first pitch there. So pregame will get going around 6:30. If you were looking to gear up from CLE Clothing Company, use the promo code SUMMER all through the month of June, and that'll cut 20% off. The very top there. So you want to shop online, you want to go to cleclothingco.com, just type in summer before you check out, or just throw all of the items of clothing that you plan on buying in store. Oh, but don't throw them. Place them gingerly in front of the clerk and then politely say, summer. Whisper it as close to their ear as you possibly can, right? Try to foist on them the notion that you've got some kind of laryngitis, so they'll come ever closer, thinking that you can't use your voice at normal volume, and then you'll say, summer. Now, they might take a swing at you.
It's creepy.
They've got fine people working over there, so. Alan, I was disappointed by your major announcement. I always look forward to the days where you were on the air less. Bummer. We did announce that starting Monday, this show will air from 2 to 6 instead of 3 to 7. So plan your Santeria sacrifices accordingly. We'll start an hour earlier beginning Monday, thereby not having to concern ourselves anymore with whether or not there are Indians games in the summer or Cavs games in the fall and winter or whatever. So those pre-games that would take us off, as it is tonight, that would take us off early, that was a complaint from a lot of the audience. So we have made the appropriate shift. So 2 p.m. from now on, starting Monday, is when the show will begin.
So what is that in Pacific time? Is that like 11 a.m.?
That is 11 a.m. Pacific time, yes. If you are a West Coast listener listening live, let's say you're out there in Rancho Cucamonga. We've got, who are our California
bureau
listeners?
chief right there, right?
We've got bureau chiefs all over the West Coast, sure. We've got Rancho Cucamonga. We've got... let's see, if you're Sherry in Golden, Colorado, and you listen live, you'd start listening at noon. If you're Eric in Saginaw, Texas, I believe you'd start listening at 1 p.m. TJ in Honolulu, I think you listen at 2 in the morning. Isn't there some wacky time difference?
There's 6 hours.
6 hours.
I believe.
All right, there you go. But yeah, so if you're a listener in California... you'd want to, but again, if you're a podcast listener, the beauty of that is you listen whenever you want.
Yep.
But the show starts at 2 p.m. Beginning Monday afternoon. here on WMMS. I'll have prison mail here for you in a minute. When I was talking to Gavin Rossdale before the break, I neglected to mention, because I'm very excited to see Bush and Living Color and Fuel. All these great bands are doing that. It really is. I know that we talk about a lot of festival shows, but for me, this incarceration thing out in Mansfield, so many bands I want to see.
It's a solid lineup.
It's amazing. Clutch and Seven Dust are two of the bands, too. We had Lejean from Seven Dust on last week. They have already announced that they will go on a fall tour together. So if you like Clutch Boy, they've got a diehard audience, too. People will follow Clutch. So Clutch, Seven Dust, and Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown, who I am not familiar with. But now, mind you, they're not coming here. But like I said, Clutch fans will travel, so you'll have to go to Detroit, Pittsburgh, or Chicago to see them. But I would go see that. I would travel to see Clutch and Seven Dust. So I'm just passing that information along to you. One of the unforeseen results of constant climate change turns out to be bee thefts.
Yeah.
Bee thefts?
Bee thefts.
Like bees?
Bee thievery.
Bees. Thieveries of bees. Yes. You know, colony collapse is something that even people who are mildly optimistic about the environment, they do get a little pucker in their bee hole when they think about colony collapse.
It's a bee hole disaster.
It is a huge, huge bee hole disaster. That's right. When they think about colony collapse, it's no good.
Grant Larson is on the phone for the National Park Service.
I cannot meet with him right now. We are in crisis mode, okay? Larry, just tell him I need to reschedule because I am trying to fix my beehole disaster.
Okie dokie.
No, Larry, don't tell him that. Don't mention my beehole.
So there are beekeepers who are talking about spikes in bee thefts.
Can you imagine stealing bees?
Here's the amazing thing. These people are so good and so deft at this. They've been stealing them individually.
One bee at a time? With all that
by
honey.
brick.
That'd be amazing.
They're going to have sticky fingers.
You know, I counted all my bees yesterday and I'm missing one.
I'm down to 149,998.
Yeah, if you just steal one bee from each beekeeper, then eventually you'll have a nice swarm. But then you got to get a.
That's a lot of.
You got to
That's
get
a
a queen,
lot of
though.
stealing.
Yeah. Well,
But what's the minimum number for a swarm? That's what I really want to know.
probably like
Because I can only imagine that bee thieves, you know, are sitting around talking to each other, thick as thieves, like
Yeah.
they say, with all that honey. And they're sitting around talking to each other, and they're going, "You don't have a swarm. I got a swarm. You're brand new to the game. You got 5. You put them in your pocket."
Do you got to steal? Yeah. Do you have to steal the queen too?
Don't know.
I would imagine
aren't they
so.
loyal to the queen?
Yeah.
Following
Well, that's the first bee you start with, is the queen.
Following the disappearance of 150,000 bees from hives near the Flemish town of Tissenderlo, they've been advised to keep a keen eye on their insects.
Tell me there's a bee on the back of a milk carton somewhere. Missing. What's that age of technology?
Well, like what it will look like?
Yeah, exactly. What the bee
Computer-generated
will,
aging.
Yeah, there you go. What
Yeah.
it'll look like in 3 years.
Have you seen Bee? I'm on the side.
Bees to the star! Bees everywhere! God, they're huge! They're ripping my flesh off!
Bees.
Right.
Perhaps they should sick Beyonce's beehive on the thieves.
Listen, whatever they have to do, all right? Whatever they got to do. Hashtag whatever it takes. Is that being used?
Yes.
Not currently.
No.
And also, there is a terrifying toxic plant that they're telling people to look out for because it is in the United States now. Now, I'm not under the impression that this thing gets up in the middle of the night and moves around. So at best,
It's Little Shop of Horrors.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
It's not Audrey 2. The giant hogweed plant. Another great name. If you and your pals are putting a band together in the garage, you're 14, you don't know what the hell is going on. And again, this looks like something I've seen before. That's why I'm terrified more and more to like mess with plants. I don't know what anything is. There's things that look like, a friend of mine is very susceptible to poison ivy. And I'm like, how do you know? And they're like, Leaves of 3, let it be. I'm like, that's it? Everything looks like
Everything's
leaves of
in
3.
Leaves of 3.
How the F do you know a poison ivy? I guess if it strikes you that way, you would get used to picking out poison ivy, but you better do me better than leaves of 3, let it be.
Yeah, leaves of 4, eat some more.
There you go. The giant hogweed plant just looks like this big bush with white flowers on it. They've seen it in Virginia, and it has a history of growing in Northeast Ohio, most notably in Pepper Pike. Ironic that some of our more affluent listeners could be affected by such a remedial
So
plant.
is it toxic to the touch, or if you eat it?
The plant's sap can cause a skin reaction, which makes your skin super sensitive to ultraviolet light, which then leads to swelling and blistering of the skin.
Oh, it turns you Irish.
Yeah. Come at me, bro. If the sap gets in contact with your eyes, it can cause permanent blindness. But it's a beautiful flower, but just don't touch it.
That's why you hire a gardener.
The giant hogweed plant.
I'm not out there touching plants.
But your gardener split. You don't have a gardener
No,
anymore.
I'm hiring a new one.
Why wouldn't you hire Rod? Why wouldn't you bring
He's too
Rod
busy
back?
for me.
Rod's too busy
He
for
is.
you.
What about Kaylee?
Rod's too popular now.
The girl that won the contest? Our horticulturist?
Yeah, Kaylee emailed me and offered to come out and help me plant my trees.
Oh, yeah?
My arbor
Did she?
vitaes, or
That's
whatever they're
very
called.
nice of her. Are you going to take her up on it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Cavs are gonna do. I said Cleveland's gonna do. I said we all got to do. I said whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kaylee, as always. So, yeah, so between the bee thefts and the hogwort plant, what's that called?
Hogweed.
Hogweed, right,
No.
not hogwarts.
Hog wild.
The hog
wild plant.
Right.
Wild hog plant.
Wild hogweed. Right, we're all going to die. So just stay away from the hogweed plant if you see it, I guess.
Just stay inside. That's the... We just all have to stay inside
Yeah, people
all
were
the time.
intended to
Works
be
for me.
outdoors. Then they never would have invented houses.
I like being outside. I just do.
Then you'll also like being dead.
Well, no.
Because you'll be outside all the time.
I'm going to just walk around year-round with big sheepskin driving gloves on. That's what I'm going to do. Do they make sheepskin driving
I don't
gloves?
think so.
Probably not. You leather driving gloves,
Yeah.
right? Sheepskin gloves.
Just wear those like yellow toilet gloves.
Oh, yellow toilet gloves. Okay. Want to get to the prison mail?
Oh, sure.
Do we all have our pieces of prison mail? Did you get yours, Pound Cake?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Letters, we have letters.
Dear Mama, shouldn't have did what I done. Dear Papa, getting caught with a gun. Sitting here writing down letters of hope. Praying every night that I just don't drop the soap. Dear Alan, read my message today. I'm in prison.
So I got a letter from Kyle, who is this has multiple parts to it, by the way. I want to do them in the right order. He did send a self-abused stamped envelope along with all this so that we could maybe send him a sticker or... My name is Kyle. I'm 28 years old from Tiffin, Ohio. Where's Tiffin? Is that outside Dayton? It sounds familiar.
I want to say it's south of Toledo.
Okay.
I think.
Right next to Fightin', Ohio. No, okay.
I love the show.
No, yes.
No, yes. And I'm a longtime listener. Currently, I'm incarcerated at Lorraine Correctional Institution. Lorcy, yeah, that's what they call it out there?
That's the county prison, right? Or the county jail, right?
Something.
That's the prison.
I thought there was a prison, like Grafton Prison was a prison, and then the Lorraine
I
County...
think this is like the holding before they send you
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
I'm a little rusty on my prison mail.
I don't.
Yeah, it's
Step
like
back.
just east of Findlay.
Oh,
south
I know where
of
that is.
Toledo.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm serving a 10-year sentence.
Damn.
Because my cousin beat my uncle up over a coke whore in a trailer park. Don't get much white trashier than that.
What did he do?
Everyone with my cousin got charged.
Oh.
Show is hilarious. You guys lift my spirits and give me something to look forward to every day. And when some listeners call in, it reminds me that my life isn't so bad. Take that, Alan Cox Show listeners. There's a guy in prison for 10 years who doesn't envy you. I'll be listening. P.S. I love my daughter, Briley. All right. There you go. And then we each got individual letters from him. Bill, would you like to read yours?
Oh, I'll start, yeah.
By the way, he did send me, and this is purely coincidental, I guess, but a 100.7 W Alan Cox Show with a colored photo of Garfield the cat, who I believe is celebrating a 40th birthday today.
Beautiful.
Saw that in USA Today. He said, "This is a prison kite. It is used for correspondence throughout the institution." You know, they
Ooh,
slide
an
these under
official kite.
It's a kite.
Oh, that's nice.
But
Gotta frame that.
It tells you though, kite procedure. So it's not like Escape from Alcatraz where he's getting it to other friends or whatever. There is a kite procedure. Bill, what is your letter from Kyle?
Bill, you're hilarious. And a vital part of the show, Mary needs to come to her senses. It's obvious she's in love with you. Keep the laughs coming. Hashtag people suck, spelled S-U-K. Sincerely, Kyle.
Okay.
Very short and to the point.
Erica, what does yours say?
Mine says, love the show. Good to have you back. It's definitely nice to hear your beautiful voice and wonderful sense of humor. You wouldn't happen to have any friends that are into prisoners, do ya? Keep the laughs coming. Sincerely, Kyle Carter. P.S. Hope you're not pregnant. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that.
Could I get pegnard? Well, so do you have any friends who are into convicts?
I bet you I do.
I bet you do too.
I'm sure some people do.
Let's make a love connection.
We'll see. We'd have to see what he looks like first.
Does that matter?
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
He
She's
can
always
draw
she's
Garfield.
always going to know where he is.
He needs to draw a self-portrait.
He wants to be. They need the hot felon. That's what people want.
Maybe
Yeah,
this,
that's what they want.
Maybe this is a self-portrait.
Maybe I
Maybe
can-
he's an orange cat playing a...
Maybe I can look him up on. Maybe he has a social media.
On Facebook.
Prisoners aren't allowed Facebook, are they?
They get in. They have one before they
I think
go to
so.
prison, don't you think? Unless
Right, but they're not updating it, you know.
Yeah, but you can still see a
Hey,
picture of him.
day 1500 in here.
I'm actually getting on your
Oh,
Facebook.
I found him.
Jim is feeling incarcerated. Yeah, you found him.
I found him.
How does he look?
How do you know it's him?
He's got a shirtless photo.
Ooh, let me
Because
see.
of the way he spells his name.
Okay.
Let me see him.
That's on Facebook?
Yeah. If you look up his name on Facebook, Tiffin, Ohio.
Okay,
okay.
there you go. There he is.
I
Pound
don't
Cake,
know.
you want to read your letter from Kyle?
Sure. Love the show. You definitely make it interesting. Stop letting people get to you, man. You already possess everything you need to be great. Keep the laughs coming. Sincerely, Kyle Carter.
Keep the laughs coming.
He's very into Keep the
We should
Laughs
probably not
Coming.
say his last name.
Well, he's in prison.
Yeah,
I
who's
know.
gonna-
I didn't just because out of deference to
Did
whatever.
I say it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Listen, everyone he knows he's in
But
there.
hey, maybe
so-
someone
yeah.
will write to him.
Right.
You know?
He's prisoner 750735 if you want to get him
He's not a
letter.
bad-looking guy.
See? Could do a lot worse than that. Alan, happy Father's Day. I'm a longtime listener. Love the show. You guys are entertaining and funny. Look forward to the show every day. When idiots call into the show, it reminds me I don't have it so bad. Oh, some of the same. I've included a short shout out for the radio if it's possible. Also, an envelope if you guys could maybe send a group photo or individual photos because I have no idea what anyone looks like. We know
Wow.
what he looks like.
Yeah.
And okay. So you're going to send him a picture of you and say that it's Pound Cake.
Perfect.
Only 5 photographs at a time, and it must be a printout on computer paper and must be in black and white. Well, how are you supposed to rub one out to that?
I don't know.
You can't have color photos? That stinks.
I'll be listening and hoping for a shout out. Sincerely, keep the laughs coming. It's his sign off. There it is. Okay, so thank you, Kyle. Thank you for the photos, and that's our first prison mail in quite some time. So if you'd like to correspond with Kyle, he is number 750735 out there in Grafton. And thank you, buddy.
For some guys, it's drugs. For some, it's a knife. One dude shot his dog for banging his wife. Dear Alan, read my message today. I'm in prison.
If you'd like to send the show some mail from wherever you are incarcerated, you want to send it to The Alan Cox Show, care of 100.7 WMMS, 6200 Oak Tree Boulevard, Suite 400, Independence. 44131. And as always, include your prisoner number and the reason you are incarcerated.
Yeah,
that's our favorite part. That might be the longest sentence we've ever gotten mail for.
I think so. Well, no, didn't we have a guy serving a life?
Yeah,
25 to life?
Did
Yeah,
we?
I think there's a guy
murder?
that was serving life, and he was really into Erica.
Yeah, I think that. Well, I don't know about the into me part, but I
Yeah, he
think
was.
there was a guy serving life.
Okay.
There was one guy that asked for me to send a pinup style photo.
There you go. Because where's he going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would rather not have that circulating around the prisons of Ohio.
Putting the D in cell block D?
Yeah, I'm good.
18 and left, you got a picture of Erica. All right. If you're on hold, I'll get you on the way back. I'll have Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie tickets for you. That Twins of Evil tour will get through Blossom this summer. Want to text in the break 35192 or find us at AlanCockShow.com.
When LeBron finds out the Alan Cox Show starts 1 hour earlier, afternoons at 2, beginning on Monday, he ain't going nowhere.
You can only dream and wish that you could be a part of that.
You're welcome, Cleveland. 100.7 WMMS.
Rover.
Oops.
Now, what I love about Akron is that you really can. The two extremes in thought exist right now in Akron. You've got the cops trying to implement a program of trust with the kids with the ice cream. And then you have two Akron firefighters who are on paid leave after making a porno at one of the fire stations.
Hey! That's dope.
I like that it's paid leave. That is a hell of a union.
Yeah, that's
if
a
that's
vacation.
responsible for that. Paid leave.
Did they say
After allegedly creating a porno in one of the fire stations.
who with though? Was it another like firewoman, or was it like just a civilian that came in here that had a fireman fetish, something like that?
They said there's no content that's known about the video. There's no way to, I love this. There's no way to say if this was a full-scale pornographic shooting operation or if a couple of firefighters took a selfie video of themselves. Gee, which do you think it is? Do you think that they used the fire station as a full-on Brazzers shoot? Or do you think that it's just a couple of people on their cell phones?
But a couple, was it a man and a woman, or was it like two
Doesn't
men
say.
and a woman? Oh, I want to know the details of this. I need
Why
to
do you
dive deep.
care what the makeup of it was?
Because that's hot.
If it's two guys, it's hot
No,
to you.
it's not. If it's two guys and a girl, it's hot. If it's two guys, it's hot. If it's a guy and a girl, it's hot. It's still forbidden sex, and that's the best sex.
Right, Ladder 69 coming soon.
The firefighters are accused of making the videos at a firehouse on Akron Peninsula Road. So there you go. You could drive by and go, Mom, there's the porno firehouse.
I can smell it from here.
Oh, man. It smells like bleach all the way out here to the street.
It's getting hot in here.
They've not released the names of the firefighters, but so if you are one or both of the Akron firefighters and you're listening to this show because you're not working, because you're currently on leave, I can assure you with the utmost discretion that if you'd like to forward me said video, I will inspect it for authenticity. I will inspect it for production value. You won't be judged on it, of course, because it will all be secret. And sure, you're saying, well, Alan, I can't do that because, it might be evidence in a forthcoming trial. But wouldn't you want a copy of that around somewhere?
Yeah.
Everybody
that's
keeps
gonna be-
copies of things that, they can use to somehow exonerate themselves or incriminate themselves. I'm not the judge.
Plus, I'm on their side, though, because they live there. It's a firehouse. They sleep there. They bathe there. Why would they not poom there?
I don't think they live there?
Yes.
I thought that was
Well,
like in
they're like-
cartoons where
No,
guys
no,
lived
they're-
in the firehouse.
They're like 2 days on, 2 days off.
Yeah, so they live there
So
for...
they when they're on call, they stay there overnight.
They're not
Yeah.
volunteer firefighters?
I mean, they
Don't
might-
volunteer firefighters just live at home and go
Yeah, I
in
don't
when
know.
But you need to be there on a moment's notice. A fire can happen at any moment. So what you going to do? Get dressed? Oh, I'm going to the fire station. Then I'm going to get dressed when I get to the fire station. Then I'm going to get in the truck and go to the fire.
All I can say is that I really hope that a Dalmatian was not involved.
Oh.
I hope that's not the case. I hope that this story stays as wholesome as it is now. Yeah, I said wholesome because forbidden sex is as American as putting apple pie all over mom.
This is basically an episode of Rescue Me.
Yes.
I'm down for this. I want to see this. I'm interested.
Well, that's why I'm asking. I can assure you complete and undivided anonymity. Send it to me. I'll look it over. I won't show it to Pound Cake.
Don't be like that.
I won't show it to him.
Don't be like that. Why would you do that?
I want him to send it so bad now, just so you can see it and Pound Cake can't.
For the sole purpose of not showing it to him. I want him to know I have it, but that I won't show it to him.
Hey, we gotta do a new YouTube thing.
No.
Yeah,
no.
just do it.
No.
Just do it.
No.
Just say subscribe and share. Do it.
Audio for it this morning, but I don't know why anybody would do this, but okay. Jimmy Kimmel and Ted Cruz did something called the Blobfish Classic. You know, Jimmy Kimmel likes to hammer these guys on TV. And one of them said, hey, we should do a charity one-on-one basketball event against each other. The Blobfish Classic. And, of course, they were trash-talking each other. Jimmy Kimmel lost this, by the way.
I am shocked.
Well, I don't know how good either of them are
Right.
at basketball. I have no idea. I didn't even know this was going on.
Well, you think a guy that is known for playing Karl Malone in blackface would have some basketball skills.
Ted Cruz dribbles, I'm looking at a photo here, the Blobfish Basketball Classic. This was at Texas Southern University. Ted Cruz is going to be eating lunch on this at GOP restaurants and events for the rest of his life. They said both of them were guilty of footwork that would make a sloth look like Usain Bolt.
Well, I mean, neither of them strike me as athletic.
Yeah, but Kimmel lost all that weight. He
doesn't make him athletic.
No,
though.
but he's a sports guy. I mean, I think he would know. Like I said, I don't know anything about either
the
of these
reason
guys.
you do
but
talk sports is because you can't play
Yeah.
sports.
Those who can't do
Like,
teach.
if you're not like a former athlete, you got into sports talk because you're not very good at it, but you love it.
No one's less athletic than I am, and I can't imagine a worse fate than doing sports talk radio. So I can't imagine the daily hell that must be.
So where do you think LeBron's gonna go? What's the rumor today?
No, but that is
That's
at
all
least
it is
something
right
that
now.
people care about.
And something you can chew on, yeah.
I'm talking about in July when you got to talk about the Browns. I'm like, oh
Yep.
God, murder me already.
I would say December, January would be real tough to talk because Browns' season's over. It's the middle of basketball season. Nobody cares yet, and there's no baseball things going on. So
Yeah, that's true.
Locally, that is not an easy time. So that's why people got to go on and on about the parade for weeks on end because they go, this is disrespectful to the players,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Because
Or
they got
what
nothing else to
athlete-
talk about. Yeah.
Or what athlete got a DUI that week?
Mhm.
Retired athlete got a DUI. You know.
Well, that's always good fodder.
Yeah.
That is always good. Ted Cruz was the one who suggested the B-ball challenge, and Kimmel took him up on it, and the two agreed the proceeds from their $5,000 wager would be donated to two local charities in Houston. The venue was 8,100 capacity, and it wasn't that full. But again, whether you're a liberal or whether you're a right-winger, this is just one of these things where when they get on the microphone and start trash-talking each other, it's just so cringeworthy. It's like, some people came out to see Ted Cruz own a lib, and everybody else just came out because they hate Ted Cruz. But the trash talking is when you're like, oh, just get out there and play, please.
But also, I wouldn't want to watch these guys play basketball.
Oh, I wouldn't
Me
have
either.
minded that. I think that would have been mildly entertaining.
I think that's like if they were going
Two
by
middle-aged,
ones, yeah, that's not
unathletically
super exciting.
inclined.
You know the SpongeBob meme where he's like leaning up against like the rock? That's what I imagine Ted Cruz playing basketball. He's like,
I don't know that meme, but I'll take
like
your
all
word
out
for
of
it.
breath,
That is
yeah.
appropriate. Here's Jimmy Kimmel talking trash.
Did you spend more time this week practicing basketball than trying to get those kids out of that detention center?
Except,
see, it's like,
that's
okay,
like
I get
not
it,
even
but
things you should be razzing each other over. That should just be something that you just fix.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, those kids at a detention center are like, yeah, take it to them.
Yeah,
Get those
detention
kids
center.
Like, I don't
Kids.
even think that should be fodder for this whole thing.
Well,
everything's
I'm
politicized.
just saying. I get that everything's politicized, but everybody's already made up their minds on things too. It's not like a Ted Cruz fan is going to go watch Kimmel and go, you know what? He's got a point. This
He made
guy.
a really good point about those kids.
Deacons Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has great deals on new pickups. Drive a well-equipped Ram Bighorn 4x4 crew cab for just $269 a month. 36-month lease with $19.95 down plus taxes and fees. Shop online at deaconschrysler.com. You've got to make it to Mayfield. See dealer for details.
Alexa can't do everything.
Alexa, I need emergency medical assistance.
Adding emergency medical assistance to your shopping list.
But she can't play WMMS on iHeartRadio. Just ask.
Now it's time to give stuff away. Give stuff away.
All right, Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie going back out on the road together again this summer. The Twins of Evil Tour. They'll be co-headlining the whole run. July 17th is when they'll get to Blossom. That's a Tuesday night. Tickets are on sale if you go to livenation.com. Manson and Rob Zombie together again. Caller 15. This pair of tickets is for you. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
He was placed in an escape pod moments before his home planet was destroyed by the devourer of worlds. On Earth, he is a god among men with superhuman powers. I don't know, at least that's what his will says.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
35192, you want to text me the live stream through our YouTube channel? Is it AlanCoxShow.com? Monday. The show moves to 2 o'clock. Make yourself a note. We move up an hour. So 2 to 6 p.m. from here on out, starting on Monday, is when you will listen to this program. If you do that on the iHeartRadio app, well, make yourself a note. If you're a podcast listener from out of state, let me know where you are. We'll put you on the map. Joey is a new bureau chief in Dundee, Michigan. Scott's up in Alpena, Michigan. Jim is in Kapa'a, Hawaii. John is in Fairmont, West Virginia. Sean's in Brooklyn. Brian's in Hoboken. Randy's up in Germantown, Maryland. Anyway, people are all over. Enjoy. Tribe game tonight. 7:10 is your first pitch. They walked all over the White Sox last night, and I'm sure they're hoping to do it again. So 6:30 something is when your pregame coverage will start. We'll get out of here by then. Hey, Kaylee.
Hi, Alan.
Kaylee, the horticulturist, wants to, I assume, help me with my trees.
Well, I'm calling for a couple of reasons.
Did you sign the petition yet?
Did I sign the petition?
Bill's all about this petition. So sign the petition.
Yes, there's a petition
all
to
right, I
release
will.
the Akron firefighters porn.
She's like, all right.
It's at change.org. I have it linked on my Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for a good cause. It's for the
I'll
people.
only do so because you've deemed me as the official horticulturist of the Alan Cox Show.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ruin it now, Kaylee. Don't give up that title now. Petition
I
is
won't.
PETITION. There you go.
All right. Well, the first reason that I called was that I'm a little butthurt that you decided to deny my attempt to extend my olive branch to help you with your arborvitaes.
Well, listen, I certainly don't want you to take it personally.
I don't even know where Alan lives.
I'm gonna
So
have
that
some,
makes
right.
you feel
I
better.
have somebody in my backyard putting in trees. I mean, I can do it. But I appreciate the offer.
She's a professional.
Huh?
She's a professional.
A horticulturist is not a professional at planting trees. They're a professional at knowing what trees need to
What
do.
do you know about planting trees and horticulture?
Do
Alan?
you plant trees professionally?
Yes, I do.
For whom?
A golf course.
You plant the trees?
Yes.
All right, well, what do I know?
You want to come plant some peonies
yeah,
at my house?
Kaylee, I don't live on
Yes,
a
I would
golf
love
course.
to.
I hope that's not a deal breaker.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Tell you what,
I honestly expected you to deny my offer. I didn't really think
Well, there you
you'd
go.
want
We're
to
all on the
listen
same page. You can.
I'll take all the help I can get.
There you go. You can help Erica with her peonies, and then I'll get the review from her.
If you are helping Erica with her panties, I want video of this
Peonies,
whole thing.
Phil.
What?
Peony. It's a flower.
Why do you? Is that like an Illinois accent?
It's going to start another campaign, by the way,
Is that gonna be
online.
Another petition?
Another petition.
Video to get released?
Yep, a pantition this time. Yeah.
And I also wanted to let you know that it's Arbor Vitae. Because if I have to hear you mispronounce it one more time, I might start plucking my eyelashes.
Yeah, but I mean, I was just, well, V-I-T-A-E. I was just going with the Latin.
How do you say
which
it?
is not vitae. I think in Latin it's vitae, maybe it means life. I mean, I assumed arbor vitae was using the Latin. It's arbor vitae?
Yeah, it's Arbor Vitae.
All right, I was going with the Latin. What do I know?
Sorry, go ahead.
Arbor vitae just sounds, that's fine, but.
Yes,
Arbor Vitae and Tarpon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tarpon,
Arbor vitae.
right.
Yeah. That's just somebody who just a long time ago, hey, put in some of them arbor vitaes. All right.
Exactly what it is.
Now, will I have luck getting those to flourish?
Yes, as long as you, you're probably good at digging holes, right?
Only for myself.
Only with his wife.
That's right.
Just make sure it's twice the width of the tree and a lot deeper than you'd think.
That I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I can't get in there very far, but I'm touching the sides all the way.
You gotta keep it really wet too.
Yeah. No wonder she got into
That's right.
horticulture. That's right. All of the double entendre. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's. See, I got all that information from YouTube, and you didn't even have to make the trip, Kaylee.
But seriously, you should come to my house and plant some peonies.
Yeah, do some peonies with Erica.
I need successful peony plants next season.
All right, I'll shoot. What's your email? Or I'll shoot you an email or something.
Yeah. Shoot me an email.
All right.
Thank you, Kaylee.
You're welcome.
Bye,
Have a good
Kaylee.
day, guys. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Cavs are gonna do. I said Cleveland's gonna do. I said we all got to do. I said whatever it takes.
You know, I get those letters from listeners a lot where they'll offer me something and then they'll postscript it with, by the way, if you turn me down, I won't be upset. I go, cool, delete. Then they're like, hey, man, what the hell? I'm like, you told me.
She didn't seem upset. She
said she was butthurt.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Right?
I think she was kind of joking.
I
though.
think she was too. Doesn't rise to the level of.
But I mean, whereas you wouldn't have a listener come plant something at your house,
No.
I say come on over because I can't do it myself.
Yeah, Erica will always
But
let
your
listeners in her
husband
peonies.
can.
No. Well,
He
yeah,
can't
he
plant
actually
flowers?
used to be a landscaper.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not Joe Green Thumb, but I know how to do
Yeah,
things.
he's got extracurriculars.
You teach yourself skateboarding in the backyard.
No, he's got a band.
Okay.
He spends all his free time doing that.
All right. He can't take a little
he
bit
doesn't
of time.
care if I have peony plants.
He doesn't?
No, I do.
His suffering wife, he doesn't care to try to single-handedly or
does other
double-handedly
things to me.
make. Yeah, okay, here we go. He plants peonies elsewhere. All right. Well, okay.
No, I just the peony plant. It can be finicky when it comes to you want a lot of blooms, and I want someone who knows what they're talking about to do it.
All right. Well, Kaylee sounds like she knows what she's talking about.
Exactly.
I got a letter from Tia, who's number 314 on the blacklist. I was listening to the podcast. I love how Gwen stuck it to you about not making a big deal about your birthday.
Oh yeah, people were big fans of that.
She's very charming.
How was the evening?
It was fine. I said, I was kind of playing it up, and then you really got into it, and so I had to run with it. And she goes, well, I was kind of playing it up too. And I go, well, then what are we doing? Tia says, while I understand you're not for the fireworks and the hoopla, I understand where Gwen and Erica are coming from too. Years ago, my older siblings and I decided to throw our mother a surprise 50th birthday party. We were blunt with our relatives. It would be a small celebration because our mother's not too keen on big gatherings and seeing a whole lot of, quote, black folk. We might as well... Pancake knows where this is going. We might as well have been talking to a stop sign, thanks to one of my goofy-ass aunts. She happily spread the word out to relatives that we hadn't seen or talked to in years, relatives we don't even like, and nosy neighbors that just so happen to smell the queue on the grill. Free food plus drank equals black folks you don't want to see.
I know this struggle.
Our mother was thankful and appreciative of the party, but told us in confidence, don't ever do that shrimp again. There you go. P.S. Welcome back, Eric. So there you go.
This is what I know the struggle more than anything because my brother has been pressuring me. He thinks because I'm a part of like a media empire that I'm somehow like connected with the Illuminati. Like I'm just gonna get all these celebrity guests. My mom,
does he know how infinitesimal a part of the media empire you are?
Apparently not.
All right,
because it goes from Roverfest tickets to getting Charlie Wilson to perform.
You are the exhaust port on the Death Star.
Well, he's telling him he's above the promotions department, so.
No one is above the promotions department, Pound Cake. No one is above the law.
I'm sorry. It's Be Nice to Pound Cake Day. Sorry.
No, it's not. It's okay. It's fine.
My apologies.
No, don't worry about it.
Continue.
Now, did your brother ask you this because you were hot or famous?
He thought I had.
It took a second.
He thought I had connects.
I was like, wait. Oh yeah.
He thought.
Right. I got it. Now I half assume I'm 50-50 on if somebody was trolling me because we just talked about it, or if they literally saw a window. 2 people emailed me this morning asking for Roverfest tickets.
Wow.
I was like, delete. You got nothing to do with it.
Nobody asked me.
Got plenty of stand-up together tickets if you want any of those.
Same night, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, great
all right.
planning on their
Sure.
part.
Well, you got to have a plan B. Yeah. So your brother's yeah, but it's natural that he would ask you for something. I mean, if
No. Roverfest tickets I get, and I can get him those. That's not a problem. But he goes from Roverfest tickets.
You can get Roverfest tickets?
Yes.
Well, damn.
Because he's boys with
He's
nads.
connected.
Yeah.
It's just sending an
By the way,
email.
it was funny. They were talking about you this morning. I was into work really early this morning because I had meetings about the announcement and everything. And so I'm punching around and I land on Rover where they're talking about like, I heard Nads. What did he say? He goes, hit up the afternoon guy who's gay. And I'm like, pardon me? Pound Cake's the afternoon guy.
The afternoon guy who's gay.
Who's gay,
there you
right?
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have been talking about you.
Nads didn't hit me up. He and Pound Cake were texting. So what does your brother hit you up for that you can't get him?
He like I said, he went from Roverfest tickets to my mom is turning 60 this year. He wants to throw her like a huge like birthday, like a spectacle, like My Super Sweet 16, except My Super Sweet 60. He wants me to get Charlie Wilson to perform, and he's like, I know you know some people in the promotion, like.
Who is that?
Yeah, who's Charlie Wilson?
He's a R&B singer.
Okay.
Oh.
Second of all, why does he think that you could, even if you could get him, why does he think that would be free?
And we also don't even have an R&B station in our cluster.
But why does he think that would be free?
Because he thinks that any level of media is a way in there. Like, oh, you know some people that know some executives.
But even if we know him.
But do you explain to him that that's not how anything works?
Yes, but they don't understand anything.
Well, no, I assume that he's a multicellular organism, and yes, he could understand that.
No, because every time I come home for Christmas, I told you, this is the same conversation I have over and over again about...
Does your brother think that you're rich?
No, he knows I'm not rich, but he doesn't understand why I'm not rich.
Did you explain to him why?
Over and over again. The same
right.
The same reason why I tell him that, like, hey, you know, I'm not... Why am I working all these jobs?
Why does he think that you should be rich?
He thinks that media is, you know...
It's all connected and you can just do anything.
Yeah, I explained...
Right, but he does understand that there are levels just as there are in any other business, right?
I tell him I have earning potential, and that it's just not enough for him.
Don't tell him that.
He doesn't get
Give him a false sense of security.
I suppose, though, if you are somebody that is like Mr. Perks or like wants to make all those connections, you probably could use this job to get a bunch of connections and things. But
yeah, but
then you have to be that guy, and you're going to be known as that guy.
But I have a feeling that somewhere along the line, Pound Cake planted this seed in his brother's head.
Why do you always think it's me?
Because why would a normal person assume that the phone screener for an afternoon show in Cleveland, Ohio, has a direct line to the upper echelons of a media empire?
People assume a lot of things because we're on the radio.
No one's assumed that of me.
People assume a lot of stuff because they
one
think that we're famous.
We're not talking about fame. We're talking about connections.
The same thing.
No one assumes that of me.
People think that we're in the back chilling with Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kim, and
No
Kanye.
one
Yes, they
thinks
do.
that.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They've heard you talk so many times about
not
wanting
true.
to do that, and you've talked to your
I'm sick of
friends
you guys
about.
always turning it around on me. It's not me.
It's your brother. Who else
I'm
is he
actually going to
talking
defend
to?
Pound Cake on this one, where people think we have more access than we
People
actually
think we
do.
have some hookups.
Okay, but here's all I'm saying. It requires simply one conversation to disavow someone of that notion. Why he would keep coming back to you is what confuses me.
See, my family's expectation is so low that, like, one time we went out to a restaurant and the chef knew who I was and offered us a free appetizer, and you would have thought that they rolled out a freaking red carpet for us.
Listen, granted, and a lot of people have pointed this out, the Alan Cox Show is the only show in America with an official horticulturist. That's got nothing to do with our reach into the, I've never even been invited to the iHeartRadio Music Festival, and I'm the host of the goddamn show. So, after the first conversation with your brother, telling him how it is,
you just say, I have nothing.
Why would he come? Well, it's not nothing, but, hey, can you get this guy to sing at our mother's party?
What was his name again?
Charlie Wilson.
We are good for...
Is he Jackie Wilson's grandkid or anything like that?
I don't know.
I mean, he might be available. It might cost a few grand, but you can. I bet you could find a way to reach out to
that
him.
He thought I had that type of pool.
Why don't you just tell your brother that the Illuminati rejected your request?
Just tell him he's booked already and he's not available.
Right.
Just be like, we reached out, wasn't available.
No, because then he's gonna be like, oh, well, can you get this guy? Can you get Smokey Robinson?
Tell him this
Smokey
is a,
Robinson.
Smokey Robinson. Tell him this is the level we're at. You can get last-minute concert tickets that a listener did not pick up that are in the nosebleeds.
Tell him you can get
That's the
Matitude.
tier that we're at.
And
That's
he's
right.
okay with that because this is the level that we're on right now.
How do you feel about seeing Weird Al from Loudville?
Exactly.
I'm in. I'll go.
And the tickets must be picked up at 5:45 on Friday.
He's going on vacation. He's going on a cruise for like a week, and I'm staying at home at his house to watch his 5 dogs. Okay, so he tells me all.
Dogs.
Yeah, he tells me all the stuff that I have to do and blah blah blah, and he ends that by, oh, and P.S. we need like such and such tickets August 2nd. I said, who the hell am I? Like. You give me all that stuff to do watching Yo Dogs, and then you ask me for concert tickets as a PS. I'm like, all right.
As a PS.
But like, I feel like I'm obligated to at least try because he's the one I go to whenever
You're
I have
gonna try to get Charlie Wilson?
No, not Charlie Wilson. Forget Charlie Wilson.
I said try and get Charlie Wilson.
I mean, it couldn't hurt to try.
The tickets are not a big deal. I understand that because he has no other pool. It's the only card I have to play.
But after you told him, why does he keep requesting things of you?
After a while, I think he's trolling. But like the first couple times, he was dead serious. Like he's dead.
Charlie Wilson looks like one of the characters Eddie Murphy played in Coming to America.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's old, and he's one of those. My mom would know who he is. Like she would love if I could get like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Here's a clip of him from one of his parties.
Mr. Randy Watson, yes!
My mom would be happy if I could get Earth, Wind, and Fire. Mom, I can only afford wind. Is that cool? Wind is coming.
You don't even get Earth.
You could
Earth.
probably get.
I was gonna say you're gonna get Earth.
You get a cover band called Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You could get Carlos Jones and the Plus Band, probably.
There you go.
Or maybe one of the Bone Thugs.
Yes, you could probably get who's
One
not in
thug?
jail. Yeah, you could get Busy or Easy
Or
or one of those
Crazy
guys.
or-
Crazy.
Well, I'm trying to get her to my mom's taste, and I don't know if she's really down with the Bones. But
Well, she'll settle for what you can get.
Yeah.
she'll settle for me and my brother on the stage singing Boys to Men. Okay, she doesn't care. It's my brother.
Mom, I got Earth, Dust, and Heat. They are Northeast Ohio's premier Earth, Wind, and Fire cover band. You gotta try to get that, man.
Yeah, no, she doesn't care.
Well, work on getting her something. You only turned 60 one time, right?
We're aware. It's the big one.
And Charlie Wilson's 65 years old. Oh, he was in the Gap Band, right? You dropped a bomb on me? Was that the Gap Band?
You dropped a bomb on me. That's like the roller skating song.
Right. Or was that the Daz Band?
I don't know.
Gap Band. You dropped a bomb on me. Party Train and
Charlie Wilson was in that?
He was in the Gap Band. Yep. Aren't they from Dayton or something? Gap Band
No.
from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Was close. All right. Well, there you go.
Why don't you get Yachtly Crew?
My mom's taste.
She likes that old stuff.
All right. Well.
Find a singer named Chuck Wilson who is affordable. I go, now my mom's going to want to call you Charlie. Just ignore
go
that.
with it,
That's
yeah.
right. Charles Kent Wilson, also known as Uncle Charlie, was the lead vocalist of the Gap Band.
Just get Chocolate Charlie and say you thought that was Charlie Wilson.
That's right.
That's where your connections could get you.
I can get you Chocolate Charlie Wilson. Do you know who that is? Yeah. All right.
Just get. Never mind. I was gonna. You guys is better. I was maybe like a play on Wilson from Castaway.
Oh.
Let's get a volleyball.
Well, anyway. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm sorry that your brother keeps hitting you up for stuff.
I mean,
Your brother's always on that hustle game.
Well, it's the only card I have.
Right,
to
but he's
play.
always trying to get other people to hustle for him.
That's exactly why he's on his hustle game.
Where is his hustle game?
Work smarter, not harder.
I guess.
He works hard. I mean,
He's barking up the wrong tree, though.
If he
He's
could
got
get-
5 dogs.
Yeah, if he could get something for free, why not? And like I said, it's the only thing I really have to offer him because he makes more money than me, and he helps me out with whatever I need because I'm so like.
He does always help you with your car situation.
Yeah, I'm so unfit.
Which
for
is
life.
never ending.
Well, whatever. And
Have you been having problems with that new car? Because I've noticed that you've been driving.
I drove my mom's car.
Yeah.
One, because I have a dresser. I finally got the dresser out of my garage that you guys fixed up when you guys renovated my room.
That Bill and I moved down
so
there.
My mom's,
Mostly Bill.
my mom's car's big enough to hold that, so I have that there. So we swapped. And then I'm going home tomorrow because I have my dentist appointment to check for my wisdom teeth, and so we might swap back. But I'm getting a rental car because I'm putting my car in the shop for brakes.
Alan,
This car needs new brakes.
Alan, can you get Kurt Cobain's autograph for me? Sure. Why not? Alan, I assumed that whoever came up with Throwback Thursday would certainly be more connected. There you go. All right. All right, I'm have Kennywood passes for you coming back. Get you into the Berg for a bit. There is a grand prize associated with it. If you want a hotel stay and a whole bunch of other stuff, go to WMMS.com. We got a Kennywood staycation that we're giving away there in the contest tab. 35192 if you want to text here in the break.
The time for empty talk is over.
Beginning Monday.
Arrives
The Alan Cox Show begins 1 hour earlier.
the hour of action.
Afternoons at 2 on 100.7 WMMS.
Oops.
Now, what I...
Hey, everybody, welcome to Sign in the DMs.
Oh, hi there. I'm Cody. I'm Pound Cake Brown.
You're Cody, I'm Pound Cake Brown.
Cody Pound Cake Brown.
No, you're Cody, I'm Pound Cake Brown.
Sure.
All right. Anyway, your hair's getting long.
I know. I have to get it cut.
I say let it grow.
Why?
I don't know. See what it looks like.
I know what it looks like, and I don't.
But I want to know what it looks like. Anyway, that's not the point. You went to a wedding on Friday. I went to a wedding on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I think Erica was at a wedding on Saturday as well.
Yep. A mutual friend. We both know her.
And what was your wedding experience? Because it looked, just from like the Instagram posts and stuff I saw, looked like it was a good time.
Yeah, it's always fun and weird when you have like one of your old college buddies where you used to get blacked out drunk with and pass out like, in your own vomit with. And now this person's like an adult now and getting married. I told him originally I didn't RSVP because I told him I couldn't make it because I didn't want to miss the show to go. And he's like, well, just come down after and, we'll drink beers and have a good time. I'm like, all right. So I really like him. So I went to his wedding. And like I always say, when everyone else is buying gifts for their wedding, I'm buying gifts for their marriage. So everyone else was getting like gifts off of their wedding registry.
Mm-hmm. Where are they registered? Do you even know?
Nope.
Yeah.
Because I already knew what I was going to get.
Right.
I got them an abundance of sex toys.
Which I believe you had a little incident at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Lord. Did you read that?
I did read that, and it was very funny.
Yeah. Well, I had just left. The sex store that I went to was right down the street from Chick-fil-A. So I was like, I'm going to just treat myself. I did a good deed. I'm going to save these people's wedding or save these people's marriage, and they haven't even, been married a week yet.
Gay wedding or boy, girl?
Boy, girl.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what sex toys did you get them?
Like some handcuffs, some flavored lube, some flavored condoms. I got them a vibrating pulse where, when you put it in, the one person can have the remote control and just, control, almost like a shot collar.
Yeah. Those are fun. Speaking of which, I got the shot collar.
Wonderful. So, look forward to that.
Thursday.
And so, so I just got them some little things like that because I know they're not very adventurous. And I saw them because I had some friends that were staying in the hotel. So I was just going to stay out with them before I went to the Pride the next day. And I saw them coming in. And I was just like, "You got the bag?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I got the bag." Mm-hmm. And we were thinking about them because we partied afterwards and went to like the bar. We were like, "Are they coming?" I was like, "I don't think they're coming. They're not going to leave their room tonight, guys. Sorry."
Yeah, because it's a long day. They want to get it on.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Cody Cooper's wedding on Saturday. It was lovely. It was in his backyard, real casual affair, but just full of love and happiness and laughs. And Brian Kenny, who is an alumni of the Alan Cox Show Comedy Tour, I do the Fantasy Boys podcast with him. He was the officiant, and he was wearing a big, giant foam cowboy hat and had a cap gun, and it was silly, and it was fun, and it was exactly what Cody Cooper's wedding should be. It was great. So, and they had a food truck, and I love that.
That's dope. Like
you just go up and go, "I'll take this sandwich and these fries," and it was awesome.
See, I love a stress-free wedding like that,
and that was,
because you don't have to worry about the venue. You don't have to worry about a certain time to get out. Everyone's casual. Like it's. That I like weddings like that. I hate when people are more focused on the wedding than the actual marriage.
Right.
I don't like that, where it's like a huge spectacle and people just get so wound up.
And they get into a bunch of debt, and that's why I think do whatever you want. It's your wedding if you're going to get married, but
don't be focused more so on the one day than the rest of your life.
Right.
If the one day is more important,
coming from a guy that's never been in a relationship and a guy that's failed at a lot of them. So.
But I see a lot of people spend all this money for a wedding, and then they can't keep it together. So
I'm with you. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. Real quick before we go, what would your perfect wedding location be? If you get married anywhere in the world, money's not an object, you get married anywhere, where would it be?
I already said this, a castle in Spain overlooking the water, and then as we look outside on the balcony of the castle, the fireworks come up and they're all in pride colors.
Mine would be at the top of Mount Rushmore.
Who's gonna get up there?
I don't care. It's just me and my girl.
You need somebody to officiate it. You need a witness.
All right, well then we'll have someone fly in on a
helicopter and just be on top.
Yeah, that way it's about us and those presidents' faces.
I wonder who has been like married on top of a mountain, because if you think about that, or like on an airplane. Like, how like...
Well, people do like skydiving.
You know how like the one president... Who was the president that took over for Kennedy after he got shot?
Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson was sworn in on the Air Force One.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder who's like said their vows like from 30,000 feet instead of like doing the Mile High Club. You do the Marriage High Club.
The Marriage High Club. I don't know. I'm sure someone's done it.
That's dope.
We gotta go.
All right.
Thanks.
Bruce Springsteen won a Tony last night. I guess the Tony Awards were last night. Only reason that people know it was the Tony Awards last night is because Robert De Niro got out there. And first of all, why is Robert De Niro at the Tonys? Was he in something that I didn't know? Is he a friend of Bruce Springsteen's? Because he introduced Bruce Springsteen.
That, or like he's a friend of the arts. I don't know.
He's a patron of the arts?
Yeah.
I just love, because it's an award show, I love how it starts off with the music and the announcement.
Dun, dun, dun,
and then,
dun, dun, dun,
they're
dun.
like, da, 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 and then he gets out. And,
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert De Niro.
The butterfly.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
Right off the bat.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert De Niro.
Yeah, F Trump.
Standing ovation.
Standing ovation at the boy, what a brave guy at the Tonys.
Yeah. He knows his crowd.
It's not even his crowd, it's just that crowd.
It would have been Chris if he was like F Obama.
What?
Hillary.
Yeah.
Lock her up.
Lock her up.
Oh, I want somebody to do that. Please have someone do that.
It's no longer down with Trump, it's Trump.
Oh, okay.
He like throws his arms up and Well, he's been an F Trump guy the whole time, and he's been very vocal about it. But what a weird place to. I mean, I guess it's a huge audience, but what a weird place to throw that out.
out of nowhere.
He felt safe there, you know?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Right.
you know, she's
No.
reading from the book of who's coming. Oh my God, Robert De Niro, he's amazing. I love all his movies.
Right,
You know.
like usually they have some eloquent speech prepared where they're like, "We're living in a time where fascists are rising back up, and our president's like a dictator, blah blah blah," and they'll say all these things and make it real, like spectacular.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "F Trump."
He got to
F
it.
Trump.
Do you think when they see him like on the street, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, that's Robert De Niro"? Yeah, F Trump. Just keeps walking.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert De Niro.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
Music just stops.
Oh man,
That's great.
That's funny.
oh God.
That's great timing right there.
And it's not even funny because it's anti-Trump. That would be funny no matter who you were talking
F
about.
anything.
If Hillary
Yeah.
were the president, the guy
Yeah.
comes out, F Hillary. That would be funny.
It would be funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. You know.
I gotta say one thing.
Oh God. Standing ovation.
So for what?
I
Oh,
don't
my
know.
God.
It's funny.
Hey, we gotta do a new YouTube thing.
No. Did you see the high school valedictorian in Kentucky who trolled the audience there?
Is this the one that
What, did he
stood from
brush his
outside?
teeth? Oh.
No.
Oh.
High school valedictorian in Kentucky gave a speech on Sunday, and he gave a quote. Everybody cheered. Well, I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Don't just get involved. Fight for your seat at the table. Better yet, fight for a seat at the head of the table. Donald J. Trump. I'm kidding. That was Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Someone booed.
Within the span
I
of
love
2
it.
seconds, they were clapping. Does that sound like anything Trump would ever say, by the way, if
Yeah.
you were really paying attention?
This report is brought to you by Nissan Intelligent Mobility. Dealing with traffic isn't always a choice, but you can choose Nissan Intelligent Mobility to help navigate it. Nissan Intelligent Mobility is reinventing driving and changing the way you commute. Nissan Intelligent Mobility. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
It's time to give stuff away. Stuff away. Yeah, yeah.
Couple of tickets to Kennywood for the best in unforgettable family fun. Kennywood, just outside Pittsburgh. We've got the whole Kennywood staycation for you to win at WMMS.com. Hit the contest tab there. Tickets to Kennywood, the Pittsburgh Children's Museum, the Pittsburgh Zoo, and a 2-night stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott. Get you out of Dodge for a couple of days. Right here, though, a couple of tickets for Kennywood. Good luck. You still got the log jammer out there? Caller 11, that's yours. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
From the Final Touch Construction Studios, this is the 50th anniversary of WMMS
Buzzard Radio.
an iHeart radio station. Ask Alexa to play WMMS on iHeartRadio.
Now back to the Alan Cox Show.
Hello. Your name is Larry Platt?
My name is General Larry Platt, yes.
A general? General Larry Platt. Ah, you're a general. Okay.
I want to sing my song called Pants on the Ground.
Hands on the ground.
Pants on the ground.
Okay, what's it about?
People need putting their pants up.
All right. Okay.
Can I
Ready
sing?
when you are.
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3.
Pants on the ground, pants on the ground. Nothing like a fool with your pants on the ground. With them roll in your mouth, head turn sideways, pants hit the ground. Call yourself
I think I've solved Pound Cake's mom's birthday party problems. This
There
guy's
you
still
go.
alive. General Larry Platt. Yep.
This is a banger.
Got
I'd be
this
even more
guy.
excited about this than any of the other people
Charlie
that are being
Wilson?
mentioned. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he could dig up the corpse of former Texas Senator Charlie Wilson and then roll him up to your mom's party, Weekend at Bernie's style, and see what she says. But I think that guy's been dead for a while. You see that movie Charlie Wilson's War?
Oh, yeah. Good
Tom
movie.
Hanks, the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman. Not a good movie, but still about that guy, you know? So I disagree with you.
Did you like that Hereditary, by the way? I don't know if you said yesterday.
I did like it. It was not the pants crapper that I had been promised.
Okay.
Takes a long time to get where it's going, and then it gets there all at once. So, but for what it is, it's a first-time director. It's a real good, suspenseful, slow burn movie that kind of takes a turn, and So yeah, I would recommend going to see it if you like that kind of stuff. I don't know that
I'm scared.
I don't know that it warrants repeated viewings, but yeah, and for somebody like you, where you get scared easily, you'd probably be a
Hate
pants
it.
crapper for you.
Yeah.
Not hate it, you just,
You'd be scared. And that
Hard
makes me
pass.
want to see it with Erica.
I spend most of my life now trying to get my heart rate to come down. I'm not trying to make it go back up.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
It's pretty intense.
The calves did enough for me.
Pretty intense. But it is very slow. It's like molasses slow.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, Monday. Hey, have you heard?
Heard what, Alan?
We're starting the show early,
I
beginning
thought everyone had
Monday.
heard.
No, it's of the avian variety.
That's right.
That's right. So the show will now begin at 2, starting on Monday.
2?
2? Right.
Pound cake's turn.
There you go.
I gotta get one in there. Well, I thought you were gonna be nice to me today.
Who, me?
By
She
the way,
kinda was.
when did we establish that we were going to be nice? First of all,
Because it's Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. I was going to be nice.
Oh,
and it didn't
right.
work out. We'll try again tomorrow.
She said it.
Okay.
Just try again next year. Don't worry about tomorrow.
It's fine. It'll be June 19th again next year. And we'll be nice to you then.
Got 140 signatures now, though.
Wow.
If you want to sign the petition for them to release the Akron firefighters porn, you go to change.org, or you can get the link at Bill Squire on Twitter or on the Facebook fan page, my Instagram, anything like that.
Okay.
We'd love to get 200 by the end of the show. That'd be cool.
It's a good goal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got sperm news since we're talking about that.
Sperm news!
Well, a real bummer for some people in, where was this? New York? No, I think it was in Vegas, actually. World record orgy attempt fails to get enough people to come.
It's a good title.
A couple of months ago, I remember reading about Vegas was going to try the world record orgy attempt, and I thought, oh, God bless, this is a great idea. If it's going to go down anywhere, they could make it happen in Vegas. They said that they were expecting over 1,000 people. Now try to get your head around that. A venue.
So are they.
Logistics. Right. 1,000 people to
now,
break
what's is the record at 1,000? Is there one on the books already?
Yeah, what's the biggest orgy so far?
500 people collectively boned each other in Japan in 2006.
Oh, that sounds like something the Japanese
And
would
that's
do.
the last time 500 people had sex in Japan.
Yeah.
Since they don't do it over there.
So they said in Vegas, they said, we are going to set off the largest orgy in human history. Now, people are, in this country at least, are notoriously spotty on their history. So we don't know that there wasn't 1,000-person orgy back in the Roman Empire. Or, you know what I mean? But fine, we'll take it as written. The organizers at Menage Life said that they were going to break the record with clothing optional karaoke, a kitten play party, something called the Slut Olympics, and more than 1,000 people to break the record for the largest orgy. Only 375 people showed up. And I bet they were hot. So they didn't even
So did
break.
they go through with the
didn't
orgy?
even break the record.
Yeah, did they still have the orgy? They go, hey, what's the point if there's only 375 of us?
Yeah.
I don't even want to have an orgy now.
Well, this is the kind of thing where hotels want to keep it on the DL. So I guess Colbert blew up their spot by saying where it was going to be.
Oh.
So the Embassy Suites in Vegas, classy, they pulled out, if you will. So they had to scramble for a new venue. So they had some things going against it. You know, there was some miscommunication.
Got
but
Colbert blocked. That's
yeah.
not cool.
I bet
he
men-
shouldn't have said that.
I bet men could do that. That's an easy breeze. That's any West Hollywood party or any type of Pride after party or like any type of bathhouse party. We can break that easily.
1,000 gay men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it would
Walk
just
in,
be.
pick a hole.
But it'd be so. It wouldn't be worth all the bitching
in, pick
and
a
whining,
Mm-hmm.
right?
He said whining. Why whining?
1,000 gay dudes? You get 10 gay guys in a room, they're complaining about something.
Not when
You're
it
gonna
comes to sex.
I get one in that room, he's complaining about something.
I'm not having sex.
Yeah, well.
Today.
1,000 gay. Yeah, all right. Well, I don't know. Maybe
That's the one things gay men don't complain about. There's something for everyone. Especially if you have 1,000 people to choose from, somebody's gonna get something.
Right, but
And
you're
leave with
not
something.
really gonna. You're not gonna. I have a feeling people will kind of break off into cliques. Like anything else.
Oh, for sure.
When you have a group of people that large, sexual or not, you can't really wrap your brain around it. So you'd be like, I guess I'll bang who's in my immediate vicinity. But what are you going to go walking around the venue with your clothes off looking for people to grease up with?
I'm sure they will.
Hey, you using that mattress?
Hello.
You just got to be in
Here
the
for the
same room.
gangbang?
Hey, I'm here for the gangbang.
Yeah, what counts as an orgy? Not everyone has to be touching or doing each other. It's just in the same room, like, enjoying the same space, smelling the same smells.
Again, I don't know. Yeah,
smells.
that's why you'd never get 1,000
Yeah,
people.
that's why I would avoid it. The smells.
I don't know
God.
what the minimum number is for an orgy.
Think how much bleach that
Well,
hotel
I think
had
it's
to go
5.
through.
More than 4.
Yeah, I think 5. I think for an orgy you need 5, at least.
I would think
I
it'd be
wouldn't say.
4.
I would say.
No?
4, I'd say that's just like
A threesome.
swapping at that point. I mean, I guess it depends on what the dynamic is too.
Well, because
Yeah,
a foursome is a thing.
Yeah,
That's not an
foursome,
orgy.
yeah.
You got threesomes, foursomes.
I said more than 4. Yeah.
Is there fivesomes?
I think.
don't know.
I think 5's. You're
5 is
reaching to
orgy?
orgy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting a 5-some. You say
An orgy needs to include 5 people or more.
Look at me.
According to what definition? Where,
I hope
where
they
do
ask
you-
that on
where does your
Jeopardy someday.
research from?
Co-author of More Than Two, A Practical Guide to Ethical Polyamory.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. The people who know stuff. But Bad Boy Bill over here has also just opened up a little door for us into his world, where he was Orgy Bill.
I've never actually. I'm not an orgy guy.
Are you sure?
You'd have to get orgy friends and weirdo lighting.
And lotions. And,
I'm not an orgy guy! Are you crazy? This is like discovering plutonium by accident!
I also wanted you to be careful, Pound Cake, because they found a strange wound in a man's mouth. And the dentist attributed it to too much oral sex. This is a 47-year-old guy, goes to the dentist. He goes, I got a cracked tooth. Dentist said that they noticed a circular-shaped lesion on the roof of his mouth. Yuck. Now, this is in Mexico, so God knows what's going on down there. But he said it didn't hurt. He also told them that he had a history of marijuana and cocaine use and was sexually active with men. They said, well, you got to be careful because it was caused by him giving oral sex. So be careful that you don't get yourself a hematoma.
He's catching something at some point.
The way I'm going to say
Not if you're careful.
It was just get too drunk. And
People
you can't do anything.
people think that being promiscuous means being careless, and that's not the case.
Careful in Toronto, too.
I know.
Not a lot of circumcision going on there.
No, I think.
How the hell do you know that?
Dated a Canadian.
One Canadian?
Well, yes,
They
but
still got that bacon at the end.
But I had heard, he had explained that this is not really a thing for a lot of them.
What had happened was
See, I thought
there was that Canadians are not circumcised.
I thought they were.
Yes, that sounds. There's a lot of different cultures
Not
up there.
according to him and all of his friends and their friends.
I
and-
consider
you polled him and all of his friends
Well,
on
I
the
was
state
like,
of their
well,
penises.
Naturally, I was confused as to why he was not, and I'm like, what's going on?
But
with
I've
that?
never heard that that's not that's a Canadian thing.
When he was like, no, we don't really do that here.
Wow.
And
I
I was
didn't know
like,
that.
who doesn't? And he's like, I don't know anyone that does. I'm like, what?
I guarantee you there are plenty of Canadians who are circumcised.
I'm sure there's some.
I don't think it's a geographical thing. It's like a tribal thing. Or if
I
you're
don't
Jewish,
know.
you do. If you're
No,
don't
I
know.
think it might be a country thing too, because it's very common in America, but I think we're one of the few countries that it is incredibly common.
See, I thought Canada was like the perk of Canada was you get all the European, flavor without the without the foreskin. That's what I always thought. So
European flavor without the
yeah, because
foreskin.
people dress like they're from France, and they a lot of them speak French, and it's like a lot of European vibes. Just
How
without
do
the
people
foreskin.
dress like they're from France and Canada? What does that mean?
they're carrying a baguette and they have a beret on their
Right.
head.
And a
They got a
red
striped shirt. And yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
people dress in Europe?
and a
Like,
thin mustache.
straight
Yeah.
guys dress like gay men in Europe. Like,
Well,
that's
Pound
how-
Cake, between you and I, as the only one of us who's been to Paris, I didn't see one person dressed like that. All the gay men under the Arc de Triomphe, they got berets on. And
Regardless of how they dress.
like Marcel Marceau.
I'm letting you know right now. Might want to do a quick little check.
I don't want to do that.
The Canadian Pediatric Society established in 1996 that circumcision was not recommended as a routine procedure. The rate in Canada has declined over time to 32%.
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, I did not know that.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
Or it's
All right.
not a thing there.
Okay, what's
That's the
30% of the gay population in Canada? Because they only have
Well,
like
just
30,
think of
30
the
million.
statistics,
That means that 2/3 of them aren't. Pull from that what you will.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So out of
Pull
the
it back.
out of the 2/3 of people that are not circumcised there's a small population of gay people of that.
Ugh.
So good luck.
I'm gonna have to them.
Best
And
wishes.
Toronto is a very ethnically diverse city. That's putting it mildly. So you're going to get all kinds of fun stuff staring back at you.
Yeah. Good luck.
All right, July 20th. We'll see.
Nice clean butthole.
Yeah. July 20th. Yeah, okay.
It's only a weekend trip.
Why is it in July and not June? I thought June was Pride Month.
That's down here.
Canada's 1 month behind.
Oh.
No, they're not.
A lot is sometimes it's just when cities can get like the permits and stuff to do the parades and stuff like that. So it's usually
He goes there. It's
whenever
not
nice.
Pride weekend.
Well, it doesn't
Just
even
your
matter.
Basic weekend.
Well, I don't
He's
care.
like, it turns out Pride Weekend was for people who really love lions. It was a zookeeper convention that was citywide. Boy, was my face red.
I don't really care though because they have a gay district over on like Church Street.
It's
They
just
have
people dressed like lions.
Yeah, it's
like a furry
convention, and then the Toronto Zoo gets in on it too. Drake is Canadian.
I'm aware.
He's
Ugh.
probably got a turtleneck.
Shawn Mendes.
Trouser
all these
schnauzer,
people.
somebody called it. Yeah.
Bieber's probably got one too.
No, we seen him. He's
Oh
like-
yeah,
he's
that's right.
cut.
I have seen it.
Yeah, I have his
That's
pics
right.
on my phone. So
Oh,
yeah, no,
boy.
that's not true. But they have a gay district there where the intersections are rainbows. So there's a lot of people to choose from. So I just got to move very fast. And,
That's not a gay district. That's Mario Kart. It's
They'll-
Rainbow Road.
They'll just have to send me pics first, and I'm in a different country, so I'm like, no one's gonna know who I am.
I'm just saying that might have to
I
be
don't know who you
another
are most of the time anyway.
layer of questioning you might want to add to the situation.
Just send a pic.
Hey, listen, at least he's got, you got to be picky to some degree when it comes to hetero or homosexual. You got to have some kind of lines that you don't
Standards?
want to cross. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if that's his, fine.
I mean, not to say that
I'm glad I am. I know a lot of people like look down on it or whatever for cultural differences or health, but when
Think you're
Dr.
a sellout.
Berglund's in here, he's like, it cuts down in the rate of a whole bunch of nasty stuff. I'm glad I am.
Well,
I have
yeah.
friends who aren't, and I'm like, I'm glad I am.
I just remember at the Pride parade.
Easier to transmit infections between people that way. It's
Penile
just-
cancer's way higher.
Yep.
It's also easier to transmit being attractive to a lot of people
That's
as well.
exactly right.
Yeah.
I just remember at Pride in Columbus, there was like all these different.
You remember something from 4 days ago?
I remember way back last weekend when I was in the short north, they called it.
We were supposed to be nice today.
We are being nice. We're making him part of the
I was
entertainment.
giving advice to you.
We're making him part of the entertainment.
I'm not mad at that. I was just gonna say.
Go ahead.
When the floats were coming by, they have floats from different organizations, and then the one time someone's holding like a poster and they're marching, you're like, his decision won't be circumcision, and no one was like applauding that. Everyone was just like, oh yeah, okay, great. And then all the balloons came out.
Oh,
We were like,
great.
nobody wants that. Like, what's the baby gonna say? I don't think I would grow up and be like, Mom and Dad, I can't believe you circumcised me. I want my skin back. I don't think anyone's just
Some
like,
people
there's
do.
people do that.
There are
There's-
people that try
There
to.
was a
Because they want
TLC
the choice.
documentary.
Yeah.
Yep, they do sounding or not sounding, but they do like
Stretching.
Yeah, like
They
they
have devices.
They
Yeah.
have weights that they put on their
they have bigger issues.
skin to like pull it over and
They
stretch
do.
it
They
over.
have mental
They
issues.
have like
yeah.
identity issues.
You are
if
so
that's-
focused on that.
Yeah, no.
I remember going to. There were pride flags everywhere. Men of all shapes and sizes, and some weren't even circumcised. This,
It's the lost character on Family Guy.
don't I do a great elderly pound cake?
You do.
Yeah. Hey guys,
That's much better.
Yeah. Old gay prospector pound cake. There was a flag there in Toronto and met a young Asian fella. No.
I'm gonna be a mean old man.
No, you're a mean young man.
That's why I said I'm gonna be a mean old one.
Yeah.
God,
I think it's optimistic to think that you'll be old.
your family's totally putting you in a nursing home.
Oh, I don't blame him. I would probably, I'll probably put me in a home.
His brother will roll him in and he'll whisper in his ear, Can you get me tickets? It's the Justin Bieber 50th anniversary tour. Can you give me tickets for that? He's coming through. The Zayn Malik, whatever.
What other pop stars are Canadian that I'm missing?
Canadian
bare naked
pop
ladies.
Oh God,
Alanis Morissette, is she Canadian?
Yeah, she is Canadian.
Men.
That's right.
Men though.
Neil Young. He's not a pop star. Neil Young is Canadian.
Because I was gonna say, how did Justin Bieber become the exception?
Drake.
Canadian pop stars: Celine Dion, Carly Rae Jepsen, Avril Lavigne.
Oh yeah, there you
Yep.
go.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, we knew that.
Shawn Mendes.
Mm-hmm.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
Sarah
The Weeknd.
McLachlan.
I didn't know The Weeknd was Canadian.
Me either.
The Weeknd is from Toronto. Yeah.
Go figure.
See, now all I can think about is all these Canadian dudes uncut.
Nelly Furtado, Alessia Cara,
Oh, okay.
K.D. Lang, Feist. Everybody remember Feist?
I do remember Feist.
Michael,
Bryan Adams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Michael Bublé, Gordon Lightfoot. Oh, God, a buddy of mine went to see Gordon Lightfoot in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Gordon Lightfoot?
I haven't, but my parents went and saw him a couple years ago and said it was like watching a skeleton
Oh,
sing.
my God, I can't believe. You know, you have these images stuck in your head, and I haven't seen the guy in a while, obviously, but he looked so old. I'm like, how is he still up there performing?
How old is he?
I don't know how old he is, but
He's
he
old.
looked like he was 105. He's 79 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks so old.
Yeah, my parents were like, it was nice to see him, but he shouldn't. Like, they were like, we wanted to leave just so that he might end the show early because we were just
So he
felt
could go
bad
home
for
and
him.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leonard Cohen was Canadian. Chad Kroeger of Nickelback.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Coburn. Alana Miles, Black Velvet, if you please. Fifi Dobson. Remember Fifi Dobson?
No.
No.
Wow. All right. She had a hit song in the early somethings. Yeah, anyway. Okay. Hey, Ron.
Hey, what's going on, Alan?
How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. How about you guys?
Dynamite.
I'm trying to figure out, if you guys can help me out here, what do you think it would look like, a police helicopter going over that orgy? When everybody scatters, they put on the black light. What do you think the street looks like? A psychiatrist plot test?
Like a city-sized Rorschach test?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going for?
I see a butterfly.
I see a butterfly.
Looked like a Joel Schumacher Batman and Robin movie.
Yeah. I see how my mother never loved me. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Ron. Yes. All right. Let me break. We'll come back, wrap everything up. Your Tribe pregame getting going right after 6:30, and then 7:10 they start up again against the White Sox downtown. 35192 if you want to text, get the last word in.
And now, a timely reminder. On Monday, set your cocks back 1 hour.
Okay.
The Alan Cox Show starts afternoons at 2 on 100.7 WMMS. Think you're hot?
I am so hot.
Does everybody think you're hot?
Audio for it this morning, but I don't know why anybody would do this, but okay. Jimmy Kimmel and Ted Cruz did something called the Blobfish Classic. You know, Jimmy Kimmel likes to hammer these guys on TV. And one of them said, hey, we should do a charity one-on-one basketball event against each other. The Blobfish Classic. And, of course, they were trash-talking each other. Jimmy Kimmel lost this, by the
I am
way.
shocked.
Well, I don't know how good either of them are at
Right.
basketball. I have no idea. I didn't even know this was going on.
Well, you think a guy that is known for playing Karl Malone in blackface would have some basketball skills.
Ted Cruz dribbles, I'm looking at a photo here, the Blobfish Basketball Classic. This was at Texas Southern University. So Ted Cruz is going to be eating lunch on this at GOP restaurants and events for the rest of his life. They said both of them were guilty of footwork that would make a sloth look like Usain Bolt.
Well, I mean, neither of them strike me as athletic.
Yeah, but Kimmel lost all that weight. He
True.
Doesn't make him athletic.
No,
though.
but he's a sports guy. I mean, I think he would know. Like I said, I don't know anything about either
the
of these
reason
guys.
you do
but
talk sports is because you can't play
Yeah.
sports.
Those who can't do
Like,
teach.
if you're not like a former athlete, you got into sports talk because you're not very good at it, but you love it.
No one's less athletic than I am, and I can't imagine a worse fate than doing sports talk radio. So I can't imagine the daily hell that must be.
So where do you think LeBron's going to go? What's the rumor today?
No, but that is
That's
at least
all it is
something
right
that
now.
people care about.
And something you can chew on, yeah.
I'm talking about in July when you got to talk about the Browns. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
God. Murder me already.
I would say December, January would be real tough to talk because Browns' season's over. It's the middle of basketball season. Nobody cares yet. And there's no baseball things going on. So
Yeah, that's true.
Locally, that is not an easy time. So that's why people got to go on and on about the parade for weeks on end because they go, this is disrespectful to the players,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Because
Or
they got
what
nothing else to
athlete-
talk about. Yeah.
Or what athlete got a DUI that week?
Mhm.
Retired athlete got a DUI, you know?
Well, that's always good fodder.
Yeah.
That is always good. Ted Cruz was the one who suggested the B-ball challenge, and Kimmel took him up on it, and the two agreed the proceeds from their $5,000 wager would be donated to two local charities in Houston. The venue was 8,100 capacity, and wasn't that full. But again, whether you're a liberal or whether you're a right-winger, this is just one of these things where when they get on the microphone and start trash-talking each other, it's just so cringeworthy. It's like, some people came out to see Ted Cruz own a lib, and everybody else just came out because they hate Ted Cruz. But trash-talking is when you're like, just get out there and play, please.
But also, I wouldn't want to watch these guys play basketball.
Oh, I wouldn't
Me
have
either.
minded that. I think that would have been mildly entertaining.
I think that's like if they were going
Two
by
middle-aged,
ones, that's not
unathletically
super exciting.
inclined.
You know the SpongeBob meme where he's like leaning up against like the rock? That's what I imagine Ted Cruz playing basketball. He's like,
I don't know that meme, but I'll take
Like
your
all
word
out
for
of
it.
breath,
That is
yeah.
appropriate. Here's Jimmy Kimmel talking trash.
Did you spend more time this week practicing basketball than trying to get those kids out of that detention center?
Except,
see, it's like,
that's
okay,
like
I get
not
it,
even things
but-
you should be razzing each other over. That should just be something that you just fix.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
those kids at a detention center are like, yeah, take it to them.
Yeah,
Get those
detention
kids out of
center.
here.
Like, I don't
Kids.
even think that should be fodder for this whole thing.
Well,
everything's politicized.
I'm just saying. I get that everything's politicized, but everybody's already made up their minds on things too. It's not like a Ted Cruz fan is going to go watch Kimmel and go, you know what? He's got a point. This
He made
guy.
a really good point about those kids.
They shouldn't be in cages.
I do think,
so
however,
weird.
I think there are probably some people that felt very strongly about immigration reform, but they don't want to see kids going through this.
That was, of course, you heard Jimmy Kimmel got a nice round of applause.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz, not so lucky, but he
Uh-oh.
had to do some trash talking too. This is in his home state, by the way, too.
Hollywood would do better if they actually listened to the millions of Americans who were unhappy with the direction this country was going under Obama.
Under Obama. I like how he throws that in there. The direction it was going under Obama. Oh, man.
That went well.
Just so you know, they're not booing. They're saying, oh no, they're booing. Actually, they're booing.
Well, listen, you got to do something,
awkward.
right? I give Ted Cruz credit for doing something like that.
I give him nothing.
Well,
Yeah, he
money
got the
went to-
W. He
money
got
went
the
to-
W.
He won, and money went
Yeah.
to charity.
Are you saying boo or boo-earns?
They're saying Cruz, the blobfish class. They had a blobfish mascot and the whole thing.
What's a blobfish?
Oh, it's real ugly. If you,
Oh.
yeah, it's it looks pretty much what it sounds like. I'll tell you what, I've got in. I'm going to throw a theory at you here. The more I read about this, I think that my theory might have. There might be something to it.
Legs?
Legs. So ABC has said that they are moving ahead with a Roseanne spinoff. Okay? She's waiving her rights to the intellectual property or whatever. And so they've got all these people who were signed for a second season. This isn't some big nod to the families over at ABC. They got money tied up in this. And they're like, how the hell do we salvage this? We've got crew members, we have people signed that we would have to pay if we don't play them. So Roseanne Barr obviously not going to come back to ABC anytime soon, but they're going to move ahead with this Roseanne spinoff, which they're confirming the rumors that it's going to be a Darlene-centric spinoff.
okay.
All right?
Now, is it still Darlene, her character from Roseanne?
That's my
Probably,
understanding.
yes.
Yeah, if it's yeah.
So then
they're all
Which
the
is
she's
same.
still going to make
Roseanne-
money off of it.
No.
Oh.
She waived her rights to it.
Oh,
So
okay.
she won't be making money, even if they use the same characters.
Interesting.
I don't believe it though. I want to see it in writing.
But here's what I'm saying. This whole thing came together because of Sarah Gilbert.
Right.
Sarah Gilbert was, I think, when John Goodman was doing a cameo on Saturday Night Live. You know, she's on that show, the Chewing
View,
or
or The Talk or
one of
whatever.
these shows.
The Talk.
So she's on this show. So I think she went to see John Goodman, and she goes, God, it's so fun hanging out with you, blah, blah, blah. And they call Roseanne, and wouldn't it be great to get the band back together? Sarah Gilbert got the ball rolling on this thing. This was her baby. And now it's all going to be her show.
Yeah.
I think Sarah Gilbert orchestrated this whole thing.
Oh, I think you might be onto something.
I dare not, but that seems reasonable.
Fight right now. You two.
Yes, you will go down like Jimmy Kimmel in board shorts.
I'm already down.
I think Sarah Gilbert put some ideas in Roseanne's head. She knew who she was talking to. She knew that she got a brain like silly putty. She knows she's easily malleable.
But she maybe didn't know that Roseanne would be willing to waive her rights so they could do a spinoff. That she had to trust.
Oh, I'm sure ABC had to threaten some kind of lawsuit against Roseanne that got her to do that. I don't think she's doing that out of the kindness of her heart. I mean, macadamia nuts don't make that much money. I think Sarah Gilbert's behind this whole thing. What do you think about that?
She supplied the Ambien.
Something. Something.
So do you think it's going to have the same effect? Like the show will be as big a hit as Roseanne was?
No. But they have to, John Goodman's still going to be, everybody else still going to be in it.
I think it's going to be.
I think it'll still be good.
I think it's still going to be good, and I think it's going to get a good audience because if you watch this season, you realize Roseanne wasn't a big part of the show.
She's not the linchpin to this whole thing.
Not
I don't
anymore,
think.
no. And even in older seasons, she was always the one that was like making quips, but it wasn't as much about her as it was about the entire
Everybody
family.
else,
So
yeah.
you got to love and know all those characters, and Darlene was probably the most compelling story in this season.
It has a stank on it, though. Like, everyone's going to know that this...
Stank.
Yeah, but
know
still,
the reason why
it's
the
just-
show exists is because of the racist, like...
But people love
Times in his life. But to be fair, those were on purpose.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.
I think this might be the last show that we're done early.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow and Thursday we're not. Friday we're out.
Yep.
And then Monday we start at 2 o'clock.
Full shows from now on.
Here on out. Starting Monday, we'll be on at 2. Hey, Dick.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
Oh, not too much. Go Tribe, buddy. Go Tribe, and life is good, buddy.
Thank you, Dick.
That's
Also,
pretty much all you
the
needed.
2-year anniversary of the Cavs winning the championship.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I've been watching videos all day.
My Facebook
boy.
timeline sent me or showed me all the memories. Loved it.
Memories. Okay. I think Steve Burns coming in on Thursday. That'll be fun.
Oh, I love Steve.
Nice.
We haven't seen him in a bit. What's coming up, William?
This Thursday from 10 till noon, I'm going to be at the Sheets on Center Road in Brunswick, giving away a $1,000 gift card, and there's going to be other prizes as well, but you'll have a chance to win a $1,000 gift card, which is pretty sweet. And go sign my petition to get them to release that firefighter porn down in Akron.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to my Twitter, @BillSquire, and there's a link there, or you can follow me on Instagram, @BillSquire on there as well.
We want our long national nightmare to be over. We want this porno to see the light of day.
Exactly.
Erica?
You can follow me on Instagram at Erica Lauren Loves, Erica with a K, love spelled L-U-V-S, or Peony and Honey, if you like home decor crap and beauty posts and that kind of thing. Lifestyle, they call it.
Pound cake?
Radio Cody B on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, beautiful. I'm out there in the ether at Alan Cox Show. Today's program is available for you on demand at AlanCoxShow.com. Podcast at the top. Live stream always archived through our YouTube channel at the bottom at AlanCoxShow.com. If you're on the app, look for the Alan Cox Show 24/7 channel. And that's it. Thank you very much for hanging out. We will reconvene with you tomorrow at 3. Tribe Game is next. And I will see you in hell.
And now I must leave you as the Brady Bunch is on, and I find 4 of those children incredibly arousing.